NAB Cup quarter-final action comes to the magnificent state of Tasmania, and in particular Aurora Stadium down here in Launceston. A balmy 25 degrees. It's been a magnificent day here. It is Adelaide up against the Hawks. Brian Taylor, should be a beauty.
Good evening, Gary. Ground surface perfect. I was just talking to a couple of the officials from the respective clubs, and they say that this is without doubt the best surface in the competition. They've done $5 million worth of renovations, as we see in the Adelaide rooms. Tyson Edwards, bit of boxing there for a couple of the Hawthorn players. What do you think of both of these sides, Gary?
They're both in different stages in terms of the home and away premiership race. Of course, Adelaide very much in contention, would have to be one of the early favourites, and the Hawks in the rebuilding stage. They've got some of the best young talent in the competition. Al Clarkson to be commended the way he's going about rebuilding this list. Both teams hell-bent on winning this competition.
And of course, the winner of this game to go on and play Melbourne, depending on who wins it, will depend on which state it's in.
Absolutely, and the Crows couldn't have been more impressive last week, of course. 72-point winners over Port Adelaide over at Amy Stadium. They've got a very well-balanced side. I love the look of their forward line, Brian. It's dangerous, it's potent. Henschel, of course, kicked 6 last week. McGregor is another option, and then you go down the back half and they've got the All-Australian fullback who can handle all comers.
And they've got some good young kids as well. You look at Van Berlo, one of the fittest in the club, has broken all fitness records that they've had there so far, and the old campaigner on the bench there, Goodwin, he'll play an important role. So will Tyson Edwards. They're a strong side. They're a premiership favourite. There's no question about that.
They're indeed. Trent Henschel, 6 goals last week. He's an emerging forward. Ungainly-like, looks a bit untidy, but geez, effective. 6'2", in fact. You combine him, Burton, McGregor we've spoken about, and Ian Perry. All of a sudden, you've got a very dangerous-looking outfit.
And before the game against Port Adelaide last week, they played Nord. He kicked 5 goals. Pre-season training prior to that, he has been the best. Hawthorn side about to make their way through the banner, Gary. How do you see the Hawks tonight?
Well, 10 points last week over the Tigers, and some good signs there. I mean, they haven't got all of their senior players up and about. They've been able to blood some young players, but Al Clarkson on the record through the week in radio in Melbourne saying they want to win, they want to get a winning culture into the side. Williams, a big reliance on him, the leading goal kicker for the team last year, 63, kicked 5, started the season well. Hodge, well, he was an emerging superstar, just about to say he is. And then Chance Bateman, I think he's pretty special, Chance Bateman, Brian.
Is your boy tonight then, Gary, is he?
He may very well be. I just think he's had some injuries over the past couple of years, but if he can string it together, he could be anything.
Beaumont, Hay, Leckis, these experienced players been removed from the club now, and the likes of the 2004 drafts. Taylor, Franklin, Roughhead and Lewis all in, and really they're waiting for those players to blossom, aren't they?
They are, and in the meantime, someone like Brent Guerra is going to become pretty important. Played under Alistair Clarkson previously, of course. Got the new do as well, the new shag there, which looks pretty impressive. 25 possessions in Hawthorn colours for the first time. Adds a bit of steel through the midfield as well.
Played off half-back for them last week, did well. 20 possessions to half-time is a good game by any standards in a pre-season competition.
Absolutely. Look, as we said, the seniors said here, it was a warm day, but the cool breeze coming in, 25 degrees. You love this ground. We're excited. A big crowd in. We're going to take a break. Dwayne Russell to join us. NAB Cup quarter-final action from Aurora Stadium. Hawthorn up against Adelaide.
Gunpowder is fun.
It is just sport.
Out.
Are you kidding me? I could not make this stuff up.
All new clever 60 Minutes, CSI and CSI Miami.
Your all new Sunday is Channel 9.
Imagine winning the grand prize in the QEH Research Foundation Home Lottery. This luxury residence in Flagstaff Pines has been custom designed by Scott Salisbury Homes. This spectacular prize will be awarded fully furnished and professionally decorated and landscaped. Plus, there's the BMW Z4 Early Bird Prize, brand new vehicles, worldwide holidays and more. Over 2,500 prizes and 1 in 15 chances to win. Support research at the QEH. Check us out online or call now. And thank you for your support.
The Goodyear Rugs $200 rug weekend. $200 family, $200 designer, $200 huge, $200 wool, $200 premium, $200 modern. Thousands of rugs at $200. Tons of sizes, colours and designs. Goodyear Rugs this $200 weekend.
What you need, what you want, yeah. Do it, yeah. Do it good. Do it right.
With a size, style and range of options to fulfil all your garage needs, you'll be surprised how much more you get in a Stratco home shed.
What you need today.
Your daily choices roll, ma'am.
Daydreaming is a great way to fill in time while we make your deli choices roll at McDonald's, because we don't make it until you order it.
Are you Australia's craziest sports fan? Bring in your sports fan photo or memory card to any of the Good Guys stores and you could win a Kodak dual lens 5 megapixel digital camera or a Philips 106cm widescreen plasma TV. Get your sports fan photo to the Good Guys now.
At Jetstar, we don't just believe in low fares, we believe in all-day, everyday low fares.
Come on, Australia, let's do it. Let's fly Jetstar. Let's fly Jetstar.
Jetstar, for all-day, everyday low fares.
Where the hell is Surfland Street?
Factory direct, low prices.
Where the hell is Surfland Street?
4 pieces, under $1,000.
Well,
you can't beat the prices here at Betty Buys.
Where the hell is Surfland Street?
At Betty Buys, we dare you to buy better. Betty Buys, Mount Barker and Surfland Street. Woohoo!
Where will you find the world's greatest motorsport festival?
Not here, mate.
Here. The Clipsal 500 Adelaide. With 4 huge days of racing, over 10 hours of V8 supercar action, 8 race categories, and the best 4 nights of concerts ever assembled. Nothing beats seeing it live. Single day tickets start at just $30 and make an unbeatable gift. Book at Bass.
Welcome back to Aurora Stadium. As we said, it is absolutely perfect conditions for football. Adelaide up against Hawthorn NAB Cup quarter-final action. Before proceedings get underway, though, on a tragic note, there was a horrible accident on the roads down here in Smithton in Tasmania in which 5 people passed away. As a sign of respect, we are going to observe 1 minute's silence.
Invite you to stand and join with the players and umpires to observe a minute's silence in memory of the 5 young women who recently lost their lives in the tragic car accident at Burnie. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls.
Well, as I say, a welcome to Dwayne Russell for the very first time this evening. Dwayne, we're excited about the game, of course, but just a very nice, touching moment there for what has been a tragedy here in Tasmania throughout the week.
It really has rocked the state, Gary. 3 teenagers from a girls' basketball team, one of their mothers and their pregnant coach passed away in that tragic accident, and it was great that the players were able to show their respects and everybody here at the ground. It is a magnificent night or twilight for football, and looking forward to getting this one underway. The umpires tonight, Brett Allen, Martin Ellis, Sean Ryan and Chris Camelons.
Tails it is. Thanks, boys.
And tails it is. Richard Vandenberg in his 2nd season as captain of the Hawks, and Andrew McLeod, who wants to sign a new contract, but he's yet to sort that out with the Adelaide Crows.
Well, I don't think he's going to go anywhere. The Adelaide Crows will be hanging on to him. Let's go down to ground level. Well, our boundary rider tonight is Chris Jones. Jonesy.
Thanks, Gaz. Well, a lot's been said about this NAB Cup. I can tell you after speaking to both of these teams, they're pumped and ready to go tonight. They also had a lot to say about this surface. The ground looks a picture. The surface, they say, is the best in the AFL. Also, keep an eye out for the Adelaide Guernsey. That's the clash jersey that they're going to wear during the regular season. You'll see it for the first time in round 3 against Melbourne.
Good on you, Jonesy. Thanks for that. Look forward to getting back down to you throughout the course of this evening, gentlemen. I think it's going to be a beauty. These new rules haven't had a massive impact, but speaking to some of the players and the coaches of both these teams, they expect a pretty fierce, hard-running contest tonight. Well,
and so they should. I was just having a look at the bench players, Gary, and the indications are that Adelaide are going to start a couple of their stars on the bench. Simon Goodwin, who was pretty good with 27 possessions last week against Port Adelaide, is going to start on the bench. So too Tyson Edwards. So a couple of their experienced campaigners not going to be in the starting 18, whereas Hawthorn's bench have got a couple of young players also starting on the bench tonight. Max Bailey, one of them, who will make his debut, pick 18 in the 2005 draft. The big man who was the tallest player in the competition outside of Sandilands, didn't play last week against Richmond.
Keeping in mind that Everett and Crawford aren't playing tonight, Gary, is this nearly the best side that Hawthorn can put together?
Look,
and are they doing that for a reason?
I think they're playing. They've got the opportunity to blood some youngsters. They've got two players that are playing for the very first time in Birchill and also Max Bailey, and you won't miss him. He is an absolute monster. But they've also got the nucleus of their senior side, and I think that's the way to go about it. A bit of negative press about the NAB Cup. That's each to their own, of course, but depends where your team's at in their preparation. And both coaches on the record saying they want to win the NAB Cup, so we couldn't be in for a better contest.
Right, Andy?
Everyone's right. Campbell, you can see in the middle there with Mitchell, Smith, another experienced campaigner, and Hodge. The starting four for Hawthorn, and Biglands is going to do the ruck work for Adelaide. Scott Thompson, one of the Adelaide Crows, in the centre. Riley as well to start as part of the centre four. And the bounce, and we're underway. Biglands stumps it down to Hodge. Can't break free. Knights, who was great last week. Massey to Shirley. Ran into trouble, then out of trouble. Almost didn't know which way he was kicking. McGregor, manhandled by Croydon. Ken McGregor. 12 possessions last week and a goal against Port Adelaide, Ken McGregor.
Big job for young Zach Dawson. He's picked up Ian Perry, who's a very, very good player.
Most contested marks last year for Adelaide, McGregor, and he goes toward Henschel, who's been in good form so far this season as well. Ball out of play, and we'll see it in with the boundary umpire coming in 15 metres.
Jacobs has picked up Henschel, so he had a good game, Jacobs, last week as well. Should be a good contest.
Here we go, with Biglands getting the front spot, Campbell at the back. Bode cocked one high and he's within distance, and he'll have a shot at goal. What do you think of Matthew Bode, Gary? Coming back from injury this year, it's his 9th year. Shown a lot of promise. Has he shown enough for what he's delivered?
As for me, underrated, I think, Brian. Lives in the shadow, of course, of Rashudo and Edwards and McLeod and Goodwin, so I think he's a very good ball winner.
His 9th year at the elite level. Matthew Bode, left footer for the Crows. From 45, that's a good-looking kick. Not a lot of wind here tonight, just offline. Minor score. I think, no, it's a goal. In fact, it is there.
Standard broadband not fast enough? You need A&R's ADSL2 Plus broadband. Up to 50 times faster than standard broadband. And up to 400 times faster than dial-up internet. No dial-up cost. Don't tie up your phone line. No setup fee. Get a free modem for less than $1.40 a day. A huge 5 gig limit. A&R ADSL2 Plus broadband. Internet that's smoking.
Matthew Bode almost confirming the point made by Brian Taylor. Just the 2 games last year, but also confirming with that goal he's got the talent, as Gary Lyon said, to be a big playmaker for the Adelaide Crows. Thompson, shaven head, leaves it for Skipworth. Back to Massey. He also didn't have a big input last year. Just the 3 games for the Crows last year. Chris Massey. McLeod shrugs one tackle. Pretty hard to get through Hodge. Biglands tries to burst through. Back to McLeod. Too far out to score. Wants to centre it. Goes to the hot spot. Perry the flyer. Ball thumped clear of Perry and Henschel to Guerra. Don't mess that new hair up. Riley gets the handball out to Knights. Snaps the goal from 45. Sensational start, Chris Knights.
Big raps on this boy too, Chris Knights. And he played very well last week. He's lined up on the wing opposed to Chance Bateman, who's a very important player for Hawthorn. So to get a goal on the board early is important. Just a class act. And look, the thing about this forward line for Adelaide, they've got these tall options, just some classic McLeod there, the sidestep, but they don't tend to get in each other's way too often, and there are not too many defenders who outmark them. So some quality crumbs available if you're smart enough. Just sitting off the back of the pack there, but that's a very nice finish from the young boy Knights.
Knights with the 2nd goal for Adelaide. 26 possessions last week. In his 2 games in the home and away competition last year. and just a very young player in the big scheme of things for Adelaide.
Hawks got Franklin and Roughhead both playing inside 50.
Campbell, Biglands, getting first hand of that.
No
Riley
chance.
put his head over the ball, and as the umpire rightly said, no chance. Beautiful conditions here, no wind. Ground is just like a bowling green. Riley, quick kick out of the pack, and there's some interference, so it'll be McGregor's ball against Crode, and this one is just outside 50. McGregor winds up, decides the chip. Perry's got the break. Henschel in the pocket, grabs it. No competition comes at him. Looks to get back on the right. He's straightened the angle nicely. It's all about how he executes, and he's got it. Adelaide have got 3 and 4 minutes.
The countdown continues at Radio Rentals.
But you can dive in early and get your choice of 5, 4, 3, 2 or 1 year's interest free.
On Radio Rentals' massive range of widescreen, plasma and LCD TVs. A huge selection of fridges and freezers. And even fabulous furniture. Plus, Radio Rentals will beat any price. Race in and score a winning deal at SA's biggest electrical retailer. You'd be mad to shop anywhere else.
13 possessions against Port Adelaide last week, 7 marks and 6 goals too. Henschel.
Dwayne, extraordinary situation. 15 possessions, Adelaide. Hawthorn players yet to register a stat.
That is amazing. Will they get one here? No, surely he gets one to McLeod. Over the top to Thompson. Smith chases. Thompson goes down. Smith, was that a throw? Regardless, it won't count. It went to McLeod. It's ineffective. Biglands to send it back inside 50. Perry's got to jump at it. He's got more than that. He had to bump at it and then didn't have to jump at it.
I've got to say, Alistair Clarkson makes his way down. I'm not sure if there's a problem with the communication between box and bench, but the coach of Hawthorn down the ground, maybe he wants to see if there's something going on. They've had one touch. I've got to stress, these 3 big tall forwards, boys, they work together beautifully.
Played all 25 games last year, Ian Perry, 39 goals and the most marks for Adelaide last year. And that was touched off the boot, so a behind. Let's go down to Chris Jones.
Yeah, well, as you said, Alistair Clarkson's come down. So has Mark Evans, the football manager, so there's a big chance there's a problem up in the box. The rest of the staff are staying up there for the moment. I'll find out.
That would be a little unsettling, especially at this time of need for the Hawks. There's Campbell. Still no real positive possession. Burton with the left boot. Puts it to the hot spot. Strong Jacobs.
Well, he's got his hands full, Danny Jacobs, with Henschel. Crode's on McGregor. Dawson, as we said, on Perry. 3 big jobs.
It's a great forward line, isn't it? Perry, Henschel, McGregor, Burton, Bode. It is just very, very well equipped. Here's Bateman. Gary's man on the wing, out of side here. Kept the ball high, doing a nice job. Miller over the top. They run here. Handball come to Clark. Kick in towards the big fella. Couldn't quite pull it off. Franklin. And over the line for pocket.
In 10 metres. I guess that's what the Hawks hope to replicate with Roughhead and Franklin, and they also got the other big fella down there, Simon Taylor.
Taylor gets caught behind Biglands in the rug contest. Riley. Handball over the top. Bock kicks toward the wing. Free kick, and it'll go McGregor's way. Alistair Clarkson can't apply to have this game started again, can he, Gary, for no communication devices? He'd like to call it back. At the moment, being led in every contest. Bode got on the end of that short pass and in turn gave it to Perry. Short pass to Henschel. And did he hold it long enough? No. Mitchell, the crumb. They should get out of trouble. They do. Sewell to Guerra. Wide ball. The captain, Vandenberg. Maybe he can spark something. Chips it over the top, and Harry Miller takes the mark on the wing for Hawthorn.
Thought about going inboard, decides the better of it, and Bateman's the right option. Almost on the NAB Cup logo. Chance Bateman. Short ball. Finds Rick Ladson. Very nice on the left foot. Franklin presents, and within the journey, I would think Lance wants to give it off. Does. Punch away was good by John Cobb. And let's go down to Chris Jones, ground level.
Well, it's a bit like musical chairs down on the bench. Alistair Clarkson has now gone back up to the box, so I imagine there was a problem with the communication to the bench.
Got to wonder about the decision of Franklin then. When you got those tall forwards, why not attack the top of the goal square?
Would have happened in your day, Gary and Brian. Would have had a shot from there for sure. Franklin. Edwards lays the tackle. Handball comes out. Reese. Centering kick. Top of the square. Rough head. Got hands to it. Williams. Hands to it but lost it. Rough head. Back to Ladson. From 35. Nails it.
Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing.
Just a quick reminder that Metropolitan Plumbing can fix leaking taps, block drains, plus hot water repairs and replacement within the hour. All areas, 24 hours, 7 days. Yes, 7 days a week.
Metropolitan Plumbing.
Hawks' first goal of the game comes at the 9-minute mark of this first quarter. And Rick Ladson, the man with the solid left boot, Biglands. Good body work in the middle, Edwards. Handball astray from Skipworth. Has now got it all to do. But in they come, that was Reese. Ladson again, beautiful kick. Dropped it, rough head. Comes off hands to Hodge. Hodge a quick snap. Across the face. That was better play. Much more impressive from the Hawks. Chris Jones.
Alistair Clarkson, he made one move when he came down to the bench, and that was put Rick Ladson on, so maybe he should stay down here.
Well, he could have sat with the president, Jeffrey Kennett, there, sitting in the grandstand, but that was beautiful movement of the ball, Brian. You're dead right. It was just Jared Ruffhead's hands that let it all down.
John Cock. Nice pass to Ben Rutten. Had a good game against Treadray last week. Ben Rutten kept Treadray to just 2 marks and 2 goals, and now in the last quarter. Massey to Goodwin to Knights. Nice piece of work. Henschel working with Jacobs, who goes to ground, but he gets it. And around trouble. They did it pretty well in the end. Zach Dawson helped them out. Brown, chip kick good. And Mitchell takes the mark between back pocket and half back flank. And Harry Miller can't trap it before it goes out of play, and will get a ball in. Adelaide Crow bench. Thompson having a sit down. Marek Vince, Jericho, Hinge and Burton. Bernie Vince playing his first game for the Adelaide Crows. Didn't play last week. John Hinge did, but yet to play a senior AFL game in the home and away season for Adelaide. And we'll get a look at him tonight as well. Secondary ball up as Hayden Skipworth, who had 15 possessions last week, gets to his feet. Big pack around it, Van Berlo. Kick off the side of the boot. Harry Miller can't trap it. Knights again, got the handball out and got a free kick. Adelaide ball.
He's a good size, isn't he, young Knights?
Well, here he is. Has already kicked the goal. And this one's to the leader. Perry Brown did well to stand in front of the charging forward. He's renowned for that. Here's Campbell Brown. Ladson working deep in defence. Crow, short ball. Now, this is not what it should have been. Bode made a contest. McGregor working hard. The Hawks eventually. Reese on to Crow. Pretty ugly attempted kick. Was mopped up by Jericho. Goes to Bode. They've got it on. Henschel can run all the way. Sizes up the goals. Missed it to the right. Was hoping for a bit of win from right to left. Nothing on offer.
Well, not much Hawthorn defenders can do there when a footy's turned over like Trent Crow turned it on, running out of defence, just turns it straight over the opposition. You're always going to be caught offside.
Danny Jacobs, the only premiership player on Hawthorn's list.
Bring it in, Danny! Play on!
Gets the hurry up from the umpire. Henschel comes at him. He's cornered a bit. Hasn't got a lot to go to. By hand to Bateman. He's in trouble. Perry's got him. And the kick rolls out of play before Clark can trap it. Good result, Adelaide.
Very good. Ugly setup from Hawthorn. He played on, looked up, and there was nothing but Adelaide players. No one presenting at all.
That was the Hawthorn bench. Ball back into play. Marek knocked it down. Bode, half court. No free kick to Skipworth. He thought he was going to get it. Marek back to Bode. Play on Mitchell. Jacobs. Lewis. Tacked into the pocket. Going nowhere. Ladson. Mitchell. Wide ball. Sewell. Boundary line. They're away. Not a lot to kick to. Lance Franklin the only option, and he gets there. Can't half volley it. McGregor might make it tough. Handball away is okay. Sewell taken over the boundary line and will get a ball in.
Great effort by Lance Franklin. I mean, he was the only target, and the lead was 150 metres. Didn't quite get there. Got it on a half volley. Was able to keep it up. That is as good as a big pack mark.
is the only one supplying any forward movement at the moment across that half-forward line for the Hawks. And a number of times he's presented up and been the only Hawthorn player to do so. Here's Hodge. Reckless handball, Shirley. Edwards. Good tackle, Reese. Hodge. In fact, it was Sewell to tidy up. Mitchell. Campbell-Brown now to get it out towards Jacobs. Transfer of play on here. Now Miller's got to run hard. He does and comes inboard to Ladson. It cleared space for Ladson, did the Miller lead. Now they run through the middle with their best and fairest of last year, Hodge. The handball to Lewis. Put him under the pump big time. Now Jacobs has got it all to do again to tidy up across halfback. He's got one target wide and he's missed him. The target was Boyle and he has stuck it down the throat of the Crows on centre wing.
Jericho, just the 5 games last year. Jericho, and he's been on the list for a while now. Couldn't break into the 22 in the finals. Inside 50 and we'll get another ball up.
Adelaide, they defend well, the Crows. I mean, they do take the opportunity to get across and help out each other, zone off their opponents.
Ball up, play on, you heard. Sewell, another back handball to Ladson, goes wide to Bateman with some room to move. Chance Bateman against a couple of opponents, gets the kick away to Franklin, tucked into the corner, gets the handball out just in time. Back to Bateman, ball bounces unkindly. Knights, normally clean-handed, does nicely. Perry, about to get caught, does get caught. Big time tackle by Zach Dawson. Play on, back to Knights. McGregor inside 50 and Jacobs will allow it to roll out of play.
When Franklin presents, Gary, he's the only one going for the Hawks. He's got no help running with him and he's tackling 3 Crows.
Yeah, well, the 2 or 3 players, Knights in particular, set the a wall across the centre line and it makes it very difficult, but full credit to Franklin.
Umpire Ellis there just issuing the instructions to the players. 13-point margin Adelaide's way. Miller's got space, but he looks ahead and there's a 3-on-1 Adelaide's way. Boyle presenting again. Now this is both on same sides of the ground, Gary.
Yep.
Boyle on that side's the only presenter. Franklin on our side against 3 Crows. So something is not right in the structure there. Henschel thrown to the ground.
I think they've been overwhelmed up forward, so they have got 1 or 2 back behind the play to help out their defenders on those tall forwards, which when they do win possession in the back half, they haven't got the numbers across the middle of the ground.
So the idea there to be stop the flow of goals first and then go.
I think so. It was a bit overwhelming there.
Fair enough. Jacobs one hand. Support at ground level. Sewell now has it. Around the body, but once again, a wall of Crows. Edwards couldn't trap this.
It does probably mean 1 or 2 of the other Hawthorn forwards have got to push up and not perhaps play quite so deep so they can get some competitiveness around the middle of the ground. Hawthorn players there racking up plenty of possessions. Ladson and Bateman.
Matthew Bode having a rest. It was almost a throw by Reese. Marrick through traffic, gets it to Hinge, the new boy. Half a stat. Perry flies, can't bring the mark down. McGregor off hands, nice bit of work around the body by Riley. And it's through for a behind.
Good attempt by Perry. McGregor to get over the top. In the meantime, Miller's got it at half-back. Good kick, got it into the area where Brown was waiting its arrival. Here's Bateman with a run. We'll be watching his performance very closely tonight. Franklin wide. Just got hold of that one. Plays on outside the boundary line and that'll be out of bounds.
Played on around the boundary.
That's exactly right. Umpire said you played on outside the boundary and then
2 metres outside the boundary, you've got to bring it back inside.
Exactly.
The fact that he's a left footer didn't help him then, poor old Lance Franklin, because the left footer naturally swings onto his left boot.
But Gary, that's a rule that you should know.
Well, I'm just saying, it's a right footer. He would have been coming back in. I think he's a bit harsh.
What are you allowing for the arc and the left footer?
A bit of the arc, Brian.
They're special, are they?
Yes.
Williams crashes through, wins a good ball, concedes 30 to go forward with a Ladson handball. Missed Hodge. Skills aren't good for the Hawks just at this moment. Adelaide with the numbers. Ball out wide. And Van Berlo spots up his man.
3 on 3.
And is able to find Vince.
Just on now, Bernie Vince. Couldn't find a teammate with the ball though. And Crode will go wide to Mitchell. Opportunity here. Mitchell can't trap it. Goes back, gets it. Ladson supporting him. Ignores that, goes longer. Franklin, 2 to beat. Bock, one of them. And Bock takes the mark. 4th full year on the list for Nathan Bock. Rookie elevation back in 2002, so this could be his season. Hopefully for his sake, he has a good one. Riley takes it on the wing. Lead comes from Perry, gets there, takes the diving mark.
Thanks, stay there.
Got Zach Dawson on him, so the inexperienced Zach Dawson only played 2 senior games. That'll make it tough for him. John Hinge, elevated off the rookie list last year from Sacred Heart College. Sent the kick in, and it'll be a free kick, and it'll go to McGregor.
Pretty good decision.
Shepherd off the ball, had no intention to go in for the footy, just to shepherd his opponent out.
Pretty good decision by that man there, that umpire number 19, whatever his name is, Brian.
That is Chris Camelons.
Just watch the back of the pack there.
Yeah, so Van Berlo was pushed out.
Against Lewis.
Okay. So here we go. Adelaide pushing forward again. Touch play on. No mark here. Jacobs does well. Immediately responds. Campbell may have got one high. Put his head over the ball there, did Vince. But the Hawks, Brown, dashing out of defence. Forced to go wide again to Boyle. And as Gary has said numerous times, that's because the Hawks have put a few numbers behind the ball kicker and not much on offer downfield.
I think what they've got to try and do, they did it on one occasion, is come back inside into the middle of the ground, because the Crows have got a couple of players out on the wings. They're going to try and take a risk and go through the middle of the ground.
There's Bailey for the Hawks and Marrick, Ivan Marrick for the Crows. Moved ahead of Meeson in the ruck duel there. The fact that he's played this week and Meeson isn't. Perry, offhand Brown. Just backtracks until he finds the target he wants. This man's been prominent, Ladson, already. Been very good. Offhands, and Zach Dawson going around in circles at the moment. Ladson in the middle. Did a lot of this last year, the Hawks. Crowed now to open ground. Williams. Franklin's got to arrive as well, and he does.
It's not a bad result for the Hawks, because they're outnumbered in their forward line. Chris Massey looks to be okay. Careful there, lads. It's only the pre-season.
Had a bit of bad luck lately too, Chris Massey, and 43 games for the Blues, but interrupted career with the Adelaide Crows. On attacking 50 for Hawthorn. Ladson sends it back inside 50. High bomb, and getting back, taking another good saving mark. Ben Rutten mentioned his game on Treadray last week. Well, his final series last year, after being named All-Australian fullback, sensational as well. Kept Treadray and Fraser Geary goalless during the finals.
Was the captain last week, was he not? I think Ben Rutten. Part of the leadership group now as Jordan Lewis sends this one high. They fly. Roughhead couldn't quite get hold of it. Lots and lots of Crows defenders around the ball. It's Marrick. Sends it into the middle. Thompson did really well because he dropped that. The Hawks were all over it and were sending it back forward. Thompson, Perry presents. Hits the target. It's beautiful free-flowing play from the Crows as they go forward. Good one. The punch away from the Hawks is good. Now Henschel will be first to arrive for the Crows. Jacobs all over him. Bode. Little kick over the top. It was intelligent. Not 15. You heard the umpire. Back to Bode. He'll have another go on the left. This time he elects to go the smart one. Into the hot zone. In front of goals. Under pressure here is Dawson. Gives the handball towards the boundary. Always best to go in that direction first, Gary, when you're unsure. And Brown from defence.
Campbell Brown's chip kick. It was dangerous. Put his captain under pressure, Richie Vandenberg. Ladson now. Can they get it straight down the middle? Hands off to Mitchell. Spearing pass, and Franklin takes the mark.
Much better ball movement. Again, Adelaide had players wide on the wing to try and stop them from coming up. They get it through the middle of the ground and get a one-on-one.
Won't be a super goal. Goes for the long launch. And has just missed. It's grazed the post to behind.
Makes a difference for Buddy Franklin. He's not leading 120 metres out to the boundary if they can bring the ball through the middle.
The Crows, who started on top of their game, just being brought back to the field a little bit now with the Hawks, and the Hawks are starting to press. This one's high. Roughhead had a crack at it. Reese was there as well. Kept it in play. The skipper, Richie Vandenberg, the Mildura boy. Offhands Ladson. Smith looks for the lead of Williams. Here's Williams' first real opportunity. Takes a couple on. Looking for the arc. Good kick. Ladson, if he runs, will beat his man. A very, very good touch. I think it may
push
have been a push, though. An infringement against Matner.
He thought it was a goal, did he? Buddy thought Buddy Franklin's kick was a goal, but nonetheless, ball back in the hands of Rick Ladson, who has had an impact since coming onto the ground.
13 disposals, Gary, and that is some sort of impact in 23 minutes of footy.
Especially when you start on the bench.
13 disposals for Rick Ladson. Now, he's got a 30 metres. There's a good look at it. And this will be a kick after the quarter-time siren. Ladson comes in, nice and composed. Good fluent run-up. Drops the ball nicely. Just offline, minor score. So the Hawks add another behind to their score. And on the scoreboard, it should read 9-21. Alistair Clarkson would not be happy with the first 10 minutes of that quarter, but Gary, I think the last 10 minutes was better. Yeah, they settled. They just got jumped. The 3 goals on the board before any Hawthorn player had touched the footy, and they composed themselves pretty well. The Adelaide side looked very, very powerful when they do go forward. It's going to be a pretty warm, well, it is a pretty warm night. It's going to be a pretty hot game. We'll go to the break with the Adelaide Crows enjoying a 12-point lead.
National 9 News Update, brought to you by the all-new Nissan Tida. It makes you feel really, really, really good inside.
Good evening. An avalanche in Italy has buried dozens of skiers. They were competing in a cross-country competition when a blanket of snow fell from above. Despite fears of casualties, all emerged alive and only 2 people were injured. The state opposition says that if it's elected, it will force prisoners to work in jail in order for them to qualify to be released on parole. Meanwhile, the government says it will spend $8 million on upgrading the Dunstan Playhouse. Another warm day tomorrow. We're heading for a top of 34 degrees.
Local? Yeah, we're local.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, baby. More.
The all-new Nissan Tida makes you feel really, really, really good inside.
Which party gets results for your family? Family First does.
Due to Family First efforts, there are thousands more childcare places available to South Australian families. Because of Family First legislation, there are child molesters in jail today.
And we're going to continue to fight to reduce stamp duty on the family home. This election, put your family first.
Family First gets results. Vote Family First above the line. Authorised by C. Baker Family First Party, Adelaide.
At LeCornu, the renovations continue.
$2 million of LeCornu furniture and floor coverings must go. Lounges, sofas, recliners, bedroom, beds, mattresses, dining, entertainment, office, carpet, timber, rugs.
Big brands.
Huge savings. Store-wide.
LeCornu.
How will you spend this weekend?
Buy an Aqualung wetsuit today for $595 and learn to dive for free. See your Aqualung dealer now.
Crack the smokes, guys. There you go, man. Cheers. See ya.
The damage smoking does to you is easy to ignore. So the effects like mouth cancer are being made plainer to see. Images like this will soon be appearing on cigarette packs to make you more aware of the effects smoking has on your health. Every cigarette is doing you damage. To quit, call 131 848. Authorised by the Australian Government, Canberra.
Summertime. Beaches and burgers. Burgers with pineapple. Hungry Jack's Malibu Whopper. Big beef patty, cheese, bacon, ketchup and barbecue sauce, onion, pineapple, tomato, lettuce and mayo. Try the great taste of summer with regular Coke and fries. Hungry Jack's Malibu Whopper. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
He knew the law, but broke the rules.
Daddy stole your car, broke into your house?
Kenneth Branagh leads an all-star cast. John Grisham's thrilling movie events.
This is not about me anymore. This to stop my kids.
The Gingerbread Man, tonight on 9.
Points is the margin in favour of Adelaide quarter time of the quarter-finals of the NAB Cup from Aurora Stadium in Launceston. Lights just kicking in. One man not playing tonight for Adelaide Crows will be when the season starts. I'll tell you how long he's been around. I even played on him. Ben Hart down the boundary with Chris Jones.
We'll talk about his 300th game in just a minute, but there was a lightning start from the boys, wasn't it, Ben?
Yeah, pretty good start. The intensity was there, and we wanted to get away to a good start because we know that Hawthorn like to certainly get the ball and play on a lot and move it quickly. So if we could negate that by getting it into our half, which we did pretty well early.
Okay, 298 games, all going according to plan. Round 2, 300th game, the first Adelaide Crow to get there.
Yeah, that's the plan at the moment. So I'll be available to play next week. So just get the body right there, and I've got to get in the side at the moment. The boys have been playing some pretty good footy. So yeah, looking forward to that. It'd be a great honour to be the first for the footy club.
You enjoying the coach's box?
It's not too bad up there. You learn things a little bit differently. So I'll learn what to do there to keep in their good books, I think.
Beautiful. Good luck, mate.
Cheers.
Twice a best and fairest, Ben Hart, 4-time All-Australian. Certainly a player that deserves to reach that 300 milestone, Gary.
Yeah, he is a superstar. Been around for a long, long time, Brian, and a very, very good player indeed. Adelaide dominated the early part of that game. Thought the Hawks settled pretty well. 12 points, probably the right margin at quarter time.
Goodwin and Edwards, two experienced men, still having a sit down for Adelaide. As the second term gets underway, Biglan's to do the ruck work. Robert Campbell up against him. Just the one game last year, Robert Campbell. Round 1, injured, and that was the end of his season. Hodge the takeaway. Franklin, it was in there, just couldn't hold it. Mattner knocked it out. Little fumble initially by Clinton Young, who had a good game last week, but he got it to Mitchell. Hand to Smith. Long left foot kick. Rough head. Got under the ball a little. Back of the pack. Harry Douglas Miller Jr. He couldn't pick it up for Hawthorn. Slick hand out by Bokdo. Missed the target. Rough head. Ball still alive. Van Berlo might get Adelaide out of trouble. Goes with a long launch towards the wing. Skipworth flies and brings it down. Not marked. Play on. Tim Clark tries to find Smith. Thompson. Smith. Oh, it's hot in the kitchen still. Skipworth lays on him. Lays the tackle. Umpire says play on. We haven't seen this play on from umpires for a while. Bateman gets the kick away, and the boundary umpire might stifle it all.
And that makes it a super goal, I would imagine.
In fact, there's a free kick downfield. You're right, Gary. Harry Miller gets the play on, pops it up high, rough head, got there, dropped it, gets caught. Good tackle, Massey. Williams, sidestep, gorgeous goal.
That was good enough to do it with just one boot. Mark Williams lost the boot in the passage of play, but was able to keep his wits about him. He's got a different role tonight, not solely playing out of the goal square as we saw him for most of the year last year. I think that's a good decision by Alistair Clarkson. Brian mentioned in the pre-game he hasn't got the size to be able to hold that position down all year, so to free him up and let him run around a little bit is a good move, but he did it very, very nicely.
So Williams, first goal of the second quarter, minus the boot. Biglan's, Hodge, Hawks are away again. Smith will drive this long and give them another opportunity up forward. Williams in front, extends the arms. Roughhead, had a go. Now Franklin. This is more encouraging for the Hawks. Johncock under pressure. Burton didn't get the bounce he'd hoped. Franklin intercepted Van Berlo. Along the ground, they'd like the boundary line here, the Crows, just to regain their composure.
I tell you what, Franklin and Roughhead are only a touch away from just taking over the game. I know Roughhead's got his hands to two and dropped them, as is Franklin. They'll realise soon enough they're hard enough to come by without dropping them. So just some fine-tuning of those two players. They're young men, but they're going to be pretty special for the Hawks. Roughhead playing on Rutten at the moment, just running under the footy a bit. That's the presence of Rutten that does that.
Hodge was the third man up, Young, Sewell, all the way back to half-back. Trent Crode, All-Australian centre-half back last year. Inside 50. Rutten knocked it down. Williams ducked into it. The umpire didn't fall for him. Rutten gets it back again from Burton. Sends it wide. Bouncing ball. Race on here. Guerra and John Cock. John Cock. Guerra. John Cock. Gets the handball out. Riley. Smith. In they go again. The umpire might have to sort this out with a bounce.
Good contest out there from both Guerra and John Cock. Just one-on-one contest out on the boundary line. The Hawks certainly lifted this quarter.
And Joel Smith not allowing it to come out the back door there. Locked it in beautifully.
Yep.
Pulls the ball up. Mitchell to Smith. Side 50, Franklin. Matner's all over him. Well, lets it go. Here's McLeod looking for the give and go. Thompson harassed by Miller. Good enough to get out of it. Van Berlo. Adelaide full of run from half-back. Matner takes a couple of bounces. Will look to deliver with the left boot. He does. Long inside 50. Perry underneath it. Over the top. He's got time to recover. He's got time to straighten if he wants. Now he's corralled into a bit of a pocket. And the Hawks, this time through Dawson and now Young.
Jonathan Jacobs wants to give it long and give it to Vandenberg. His captain takes the mark just before Van Berlo shuts him down. Richie Vandenberg.
Made a bit of a mess in Perry of that. They had the whole forward line to run into. He got it out where he needed it and just stumbled.
Franklin flies, doesn't attempt the mark, thumps it clear. And Miller looks up, has Smith. A race on. Smith and Skipworth. Doesn't sit for Smith. Does well. Gets the kick away. Williams waiting for it. Flies. Got it tucked away by Roughhead. Tucked into the pocket. Tries to centre it high. Does centre it high to the square. Big fly by Matner. Knocked it down but to Franklin. About to get caught. Wants to get a kick away. Shrugs the tackle. Kicks a shocker. Straight to Thompson. And the Crows might be away here. Riley's got the bouncing ball. Didn't bounce all that kindly for him. So it won't break away. McLeod didn't know whether to dive into Young or not. Waited for it. And the umpire will sort it out with a bounce.
Well, again, an example of the fact that Lance Franklin just a fraction away. Did everything, got the foot, he got into space and just shanked the kick.
Just the composure onto the boots. Happened a couple of times tonight and several times in his first year, which you'd expect. But as Gary said, just that last second is the thing he's got to look at in his disposal. Charging through the Hawks here. This will be another ball up, I would think. A lot of players around the ball. The umpire's letting it go, giving them a chance to get it out, but eventually umpire Brett Allen, one of the most experienced in the comp, says give it to me.
The best thing about Franklin's game is how many times he's been involved in the contest. You need a centre-half forward who's just going to keep presenting. You don't have to take 15 marks to have a big impact as a key forward, and he is getting to plenty of contests.
Certainly doing that. Smith. Another ball up. Sam Mitchell. 2001 draft pick Mitchell. Skipworth there. Shirley hard at the ball. So is Young of the Hawks. Biglands now. The standing start. High ball on the head of Burton. Took a good mark. Played on. That's from outside 50. That's a super goal attempt. Offline. Minor score for the Crows.
Bit of a mismatch there in height. Brett Burton, super player for the Crows. Got great athleticism. He's got plenty of size on Brad Sewell at the minute.
Tough kick for Crowe to mark, but he gets the free regardless. Good game last week, Brett Burton, against Port Adelaide. 20 possessions, took 9 marks and kicked 4 goals, 3. Brett Burton.
Difficult matchup as a mobile half forward, Brett Burton, isn't he? With his engine and ability to run and push up the ground and back with a fly to the footy.
Trent Crode sends a high bomb. Biglands waits under it, probably in the best position. Campbell, good contest. Thompson, good knock. Got it to Skipworth. Matner. Handball cut off by Franklin. Matner tries to mop up his own mess. Harry Miller, caught. Riley, little handball. Thompson, that's a throw. And Miller will have to fight Vandenberg for the ball here. They're both arguing for it. 50 metres. So Vandenberg wins the fight with Miller, as he won the fight with Reese at training about 3 weeks ago. And he'll have a shot, maybe from super goal range.
Red hot on this, aren't they, the umpires? It's the free kick here. That's what Richie Vandenberg's all about. Just hard working.
And Matner just refused to give the ball back. He knew who the infringer was, Gary, and just refused to give it back.
Harry Miller used to, when he was first recruited, lived in Vandenberg's house, so He's probably still got right of way over Harry Miller.
Really important that the captain kicks his goal. It is a 9-point play here.
Can he keep the captain's goal? Nice long launch. And for the first time tonight, Hawthorn in front.
Sometimes, to get what you want, you need some words of experience. Which is where we come in. So what is it you want?
First super goal of the night goes to the Hawk skipper, Richie Vandenberg. Wentworth Footy Club, $1,000 richer thanks to NAB. Bateman. Franklin. Matner there. Pushing the ball down. Clark's the front and centre player. Franklin had another crack. McLeod has spent a lot of time on the bench. Here's Thompson for Adelaide. He can go wide, and it was a good decision to Skipworth, who marks the ball just backward of the centre circle. Skipworth waits for one of those prominent forwards to supply a option that he thinks he can get the ball to. Here they go, Burton in the pack. Perry was there as well. Henschel, the front and centre player on that occasion. Thompson, round the body. Here's McGregor. Punch from behind by Crowe was effective. Got a couple at ground level, the Crows. Now the defenders arrive. Did Mitchell handball to kick it? I don't think so. Umpire gave him the benefit of the doubt. And Jacobs in the back pocket. Cool.
Smith on defensive 50. Hasn't got a lot to go too long. Just pops it up. Chance Bateman takes the mark. 2 lots of shoulder surgery for Chance Bateman last year. Wrecked his season. Got some new artwork on the arm. And hoping for a big year this year. And got around with ease. Spears the pass to Ladson. Long launch inside 50. Franklin's there. Matner's with him. Bouncing ball. Side by side. And Matner wins out. Good show of strength against the youngster. To Thompson at full-back. Backtracks almost to the goal square. Sends the handball wide. Matner again. And he holds it up a little, Martin Matner. 24 of the 25 games played by Martin Matner last year. Had a very good season. And a free kick against Hodge.
What's this interference? You said...
Interference, and Van Berlo will take the free for Adelaide.
At half-back, Martin Ellis giving the reasons why. Van Berlo has the fittest player on the Crows list. Perry out wide to Henschel. Did the boundary line beat him? No. So with just over 9 minutes to play, Henschel's got it about 70 metres out from the Adelaide's goal.
Got Burton run out in the square against Sewell with that mismatch. I mean, they're going to give it in and give him quick.
Now the ball's knocked out of his hands there.
Well, they have been red hot on that the whole NAB Cup.
Yep.
Whether or not he was foxing Tyson Edwards, we'd have to have another look.
Even if it was accidental, you would think that it's got to be there. Van Berlo, the standing start delivery. Henschel knocked it down to where he had 3 ground level players waiting. Edwards' kick was smothered. McGregor's got to beat 4 Hawks. Does that. Henschel bounces off one. Shot at goal. Missed. Minor score. 6 possession for Trent Henschel.
26 goals from his 21 games last year. Trent Henschel did have that spell when he was dropped back to the SANFL for Woodville Torrens. But fought back late in the year. And the start of this year in sensational fashion. Chip kick, Harry Miller, good to Bateman. Thought about the 1-2 going back, let's play on. Fumbled it. Had to go all the way backwards, and they've messed this up again. Ladson's handball, tapped by Bateman. Crowe was in there, led assistance, now Perry goes in, gets caught, umpire gives him ball.
It's a great tackle from the coach. I think this kicking backwards rule, it's got to be looked at seriously in terms of the...
Don't like it, Gary?
No, I do. I do. I think it should be brought in, the home and away.
Ladson to Harry Miller. Boyle goes back in, picks it up, caught by Edwards. Handball out, Sewell under pressure. Bode was with him. Hodge gets caught. And good wraparound tackle by Shirley.
Straight to him.
I think we need to leave the game away, Gary, and make no rule changes.
Now that's 50. That is a dead set 50 metres against the young
Zach Dawson.
man, Zach Dawson. Should have been a 50. And should have been a super goal.
Sewell to Miller. Miller back to Sewell. Was stolen. Kick inside 50. Henschel sets himself. No win in the air. Brown thought he had pressure right on the tail and quickly gave it to Jacobs. Smith now on the half-back line. Looking for support. Found it in Ladson. Leading possession getter in the first quarter. Off the bench he came. Now Smith. Beautiful delivery. Finds his intended target in the brilliant running of Tim Clark. It's the best part of his game. Bateman's on the lead. Ignores. He's not a big kick, Clark. And McLeod was able to get a piece of that on the mark.
It was the best result in the end because the big man, Ivan Lubacek down there, what's his name? Marek, he was the only bloke down there. So the fact that it was spoiled off the boot, it was a good result.
Ball back into play. Ivan got the knockdown. Tim Clark. It wouldn't have been a mark anyway. That's almost a scoop. Paid okay. Bateman went for the big super goal launch. Kicks it wide. And it's out of bounds on the full. Free kick will go to Chris Massey.
That was a scoop there, Dwayne. No doubt about that. The Hawks just enjoying the rub of the green at the minute.
Tyson Edwards, top 5 in Adelaide's best and fairest for the last 4 years. Finished second twice, but is still yet to win one. To McLeod, who's won plenty. Chip kick from his boot. Rutten takes the mark at half-back flank for Adelaide.
Gives it to McLeod. Skipper of last week to skipper of this week. High Burton went very early. Could have infringed. Ladson. Pretty cool. Round the body. Miller needs to trap it. He's got Reese running in support. Goes straight down the line. Looking for someone to present up. No one there. Out of bounds on the full. That'll be a free kick. Rutten's way. Finds Edwards. Edwards got plenty on across the ground. The ground that's been made here. Massey. Plays on now. Massey, who was a top 10 draft pick at Carlton. Back a few years now. Perry in front. Knock away. Hawks got the numbers. Brown again finds, wearing Jonathan Hayes' old number, Jordan Lewis.
In fact, they've changed. A few players have changed numbers. 8 all up in the Hawthorn team, Brian. That makes it a bit tough. Vandenberg's kept his 21. Shrugs the tackle. Back to Franklin. Twists and turns, goes high. Bateman and Van Berlo. Big bump by Van Berlo. Bateman's down, but he's going to get up shortly. Umpire said no free kick. He tried to get up, Bateman, but he's gone down again. He's hobbling and he's hurt.
Luke Hodge had to give the first handball then. He had time and they were away, the Hawks.
Bernie Vince wide to John Cock. Chip kick. Van Berlo, who did the damage on Bateman, takes the mark. Sees the lead come from Burton. Puts it in front. Burton can't get there. And it rolls out of play in front of Brent Guerra, who's wearing the old number that was worn by Rick Ladson, who's given up the 18 for number 4. And there's that clash. We were talking about Van Berlo and Bateman.
Boundary throw in deep. Crows forward line. Fighting for the ball at ground level was Ivan Marek from the Kilo area. Basketball area, Gary, the Kilo area. And he had a basketball background, did Ivan Marek. Chance Bateman.
Get the word on Bateman. Might just be a corky, which let's hope that's the case anyway. He's had a wretched run with injury.
Looks like it is. Dr. Lyon picked up by the Adelaide Crows. Vince in a snap. Banana style across the face. 4.5 minutes remaining in the half.
That's where the game's changed. Henschel and Perry took 8 marks between them, 4 each in the first quarter. They've just taken the 1 apiece in this quarter. The Hawks have really pushed hard back, taken all their space, made it 2-on-1 contest, and then worked hard running the footy out of defence.
Dawson got it from Guerra. And now he sends it long towards the wind. Bock. And McGregor flies across the front of the pack. Nice mark. First mark for McGregor. Finds John Cox, centre of the ground. They go straight down the middle. Henschel's the target. Can't get a hand on it. Knocks it down to Van Berlo. Front and square. Has the shot at goal. It's high. It's drifting. It's wide. Behind. And Adelaide lead by that point.
Jacobs has tightened up on Trent Henschel, doing a good job, and the young man Dawson doing okay on Perry. And look at that, the future, Dwayne.
He took her ball. That was hers.
She was going to grab that ball then.
No room for sentiment in this tough game.
Oh, Gary, come on. Brent Guerra with the new hair. Looks good. Out right, Jacobs couldn't hold it. Off hands. Burton centering ball, top of the square, good spot, infringed. Which way? Adelaide, no, go the Hawks way.
Bit of frustration coming in for those very dominant tall forwards early in this game. They're now being denied their space and making it very hard for them, the Hawthorn defenders.
Jordan Lewis wide with a kick. Mark was dropped there by Young. Ladson mops up. Over. Short ball. Finds the intended target in Reese. Vandenberg gives it on to Clinton Young. He drives the ball inside 50. Need a mark, the Hawks. Taylor almost made it happen. Chest mark in the end. And Vandenberg sees it over the line.
But been a few of those for the Hawks. Marks where they've done all the hard work. This is down the other end, the free kick. Gee whiz, I'm not sure there was much in that, was there, against Trent Henschel?
Nothing.
And Simon Taylor just dropping a pud down there in the forward line.
Reese gave the handball out. Chance here for Vandenberg. Sends it towards the goal square. Ball dropping quickly. A six-pack jump for it. No one brought it down. Matten to the crummer. Slick hands. They should get out of trouble here. Chip kick to Riley is perfectly placed. And here's away. Got it from Hinge and gives it longer. Finds the intended target. Nice piece of work by Bernie Vince to Goodwin. Started on the bench. Now Burton thought about running outside Super Goal territory. Slips it onto the left. Slips it too long for Perry. And we'll get a ball in.
A little bit untidy. Young man for the Hawks. Young Clinton Young. Fortunately, nothing was a right. Look at that beautiful sunset too, by the way, boys. But needed to be able to lay a tackle on Burton in that situation, Clinton Young.
Just on 2 minutes remaining. Adelaide, forward 50 area. Mitchell, as he so often does, with the clearance from the stoppage. Clint Young can keep running. Needs someone to run in support with him and tell him to keep going. John Cock now comes at him. Long ball. Here they are. Taylor, 1-on-2.
Holding downfield, slung him after he got rid of it. Ben Rutten yours.
Pretty well explained by the umpire. Rutten to Goodwin. Hasn't seen a lot of game time so far. Here's Riley. I think could become one of the real class players of the Adelaide Crows outfit. His skills are great. Mitchell out the back door. Jacobs. Clark. Always running Clark. Vandenberg can run onto this. Now needs composure by foot. Took a bounce. Centering ball. Good one-on-one contest. Fly. No winner. Off hands. Williams Soccer missed. Good build-up for the Hawks. Would have been a nice one just on half-time.
It would have been. Jared Roughhead's playing that half-forward role at the moment. He doesn't read it as well as Franklin, or he doesn't push himself as hard as Franklin has tonight.
63 goals last year. Mark Williams led that race for the Coleman for most of the year and looks set for another good one this year. He is very hard to stop. Biglands goes wide to Henschel. Too far out for his long leg to score. 40 seconds remaining. Now the long kick. Perry, one-on-one. Can't take the mark. Good spoil, Dawson. Ball knocked down to Brown. Clark. Back to Campbell Brown. Won't be able to play in rounds 1 and 2. Campbell Brown still to serve 2 weeks of the suspension he got last year. Gave to Mitchell. Hand to Vandenberg. It's a stat fest at the moment. Looping handball over the top is good. Long kick by Robert Campbell. High kick. Bock doing some work. Got the hands on the opponent and then thumped the ball clear. Lewis in the number 3 this year after the 40 last year. To Riley, as you said, Brian, could be his year, 5th year on the list for the Adelaide Crow. Brett Riley. Ball still in dispute. Chance for Young. Siren cuts him off and we'll go to half-time with scores level. And that's a pretty good result for the Hawks, given the Adelaide Crows kicked the first 3 goals of the game and Alistair Clarkson had no communication to his troops early. Perry and a number of the big Adelaide forwards dangerous early, but Hawthorn have hit back, and that man might be able to take them into the semi-final next week. They'll play Melbourne if they get there. Half-time here at Aurora Stadium, and scores are tied.
Amazing! Luxury quilt cover sets for $20. 20. Some were $100. This weekend, 20. And look at this, 30. Well, 150, tomorrow, 30. We're throwing out last year's stuff regardless of price. Save to 75%. Plain diaper Carl sheet sets, 20. We're 100. Mainly queens and kings, 20. $100 duck down pillows, 20. Summer quilts, 20. $30 bath towels, 10. We're throwing out last year's stuff. Save to 75%.
This weekend.
Something startup. We think IPO. Some think competition. We think partnership. Some think successful business. We think wealth protection. Whatever your vision, we at Credit Suisse seek new perspectives to make it a reality.
Non. Agrumes? Goût au pamplemousse, tangerine et orange. Assez unique.
Non, c'est terrible. Je m'en vais.
Les originales, monsieur.
Non. Super.
Assez unique, monsieur Monet.
The secret is effervescence.
The Goodyear Rugs $200 rug weekend. $200 family, $200 designer, $200 huge, $200 wool, $200 premium, $200 modern. Thousands of rugs at $200. Tons of sizes, colours and designs. Goodyear Rugs this $200 weekend.
Yes.
More wine?
No, I'm driving.
I'll take you. One more wine?
Thank you. Yeah. Maybe they could do the next one.
The more you drink, the less able you are to assess risks. You can still steer and things like that. But if you need to make instant decisions and you're over 0.05, you're in serious trouble. Stop. Think.
He's hot, he's sexy, and he's new.
I run this hospital.
You hired me to make this place more efficient.
He's kind of hot.
Thought you had a plan.
ER, Wednesday 9:30 on Nine's Drama Wednesday.
Williams and Bode, Henschel and Knights for the Adelaide Crows. And speaking about Henschel and Perry and a number of the big men that they've got up there, Adelaide, it's a very potent forward line with those tools.
It is indeed, and it did start that way early on. The Hawks couldn't get their hands on the footy. They were winning it out of the middle of the Adelaide midfield, banging it forward. McGregor was competitive, but it was Henschel and Perry, the two that were just a handful. 4 marks each in the first quarter. Young man Dawson's got the job and fought back well in the second on Ian Perry. He's got good leg speed, works hard, presents really well, and he's also competitive in a marking in a one-on-one contest. They are a very formidable forward line outfit.
They are, and one thing they're also with Adelaide with the tools is they've got experience, and they're up against some inexperienced defenders, tall defenders for the Hawks. What about Hawthorn's errors? There's been a few of them tonight.
Well, there has, and that comes at this time of the year, but also comes with inexperience. And I mentioned a couple of times Roughhead and Franklin just a touch away. That's a Franklin Crow turnover rather. We saw Roughhead drop a really easy mark. Another turnover from Danny Jacobs. I mean, both sides have done it, the Adelaide Crows as well, but probably more pointedly, it's been Hawthorn's ability to win the footy impressive, but then their inability to make the most of it. Even experienced players like Sam Mitchell just works his way into trouble when it should have been a very clear mark. and away they go. It'll come as the season progresses, but it's just been a couple of... This is classic Lance Franklin. I reckon he's been sensational, but do the hard work, finish off, son, and he'll learn that as footy goes along. That would have been nice on the side.
Certainly would have been if Taylor was able to get that. Rick Latson played 16 games last year, Gary, then broke his arm, and all of a sudden his season was over. He started well last week. In his first game last week, 16 possessions against Richmond, and he looks like he's in for a good season.
Well, yeah, he is. He had 13 touches when he came on, and it's players like Ladson and this man here, Campbell Brown, who are going to be so important as Hawthorn's season progresses. We know Campbell Brown is going to miss the early part of the season due to some indiscretions. He gets that aggression pointed in the right direction. He'll be a real leader at this footy club because his attack on the footy is second to none, and he's going to be a very important player.
Certainly is, and as we said, he's going to miss the first 2 games of the home and away season due to that suspension last year.
Well, for the Adelaide Crows fans, it is going to be another exciting year. No question they're going to be right in the firing line. They don't need any more members at home, Dwayne. They're in that very, very fortunate position where they can sell Amy Stadium a couple of times over. But they have got a couple of packages where they want to get the young Crows up and about. In the Crows Nest, the junior membership with Darren Jarman, the Crows Footy Academy. What a fantastic concept that will be. There's the number. Give it a call. And some Victorian membership available as well. Still an important time for all clubs, and I guess if you're a Crow supporter, best way to get a grand final ticket. Not that we're getting preemptive there, but they are going to be in the mix.
I know you were rubbing shoulders with a former US president out here last week, Gary, and you're going to speak to another important president after the break.
In the same vein, Jeff Kennett to join us after the break, half-time, the NAB Cup quarter-final.
Discover how to beat the speed cameras. Find out with Clever. Sunday, 6:30 on 9.
The all-new Chiron from Sanyong. All the features you ever wanted at a price you never dreamed of. Sanyong, now you're going places.
What you need, what you want, yeah. Do it, yeah. Do it good. Do it right. Woo! Do it now. Come on! Whoa! What you need today?
Score a medal-winning deal at Harvey Norman. Snap up a sporty Kodak digital camera, available in 4 hot colours, just $388. Keep up with the action with this compact Presario desktop computer. Perfect for internet and email. Only $948 after cashback. Find your way to the finish line with TomTom One, the hassle-free portable navigator, $799. And save on Microsoft Office 2003 Student and Teacher Edition. Everything you need, now only $188. Go for the gold. We won't be beaten on price.
Summertime. Beaches and burgers. Burgers with pineapple. Hungry Jack's Malibu Whopper. Big beef patty, cheese, bacon, ketchup and barbecue sauce, onion, pineapple, tomato, lettuce and mayo. Try the great taste of summer with regular Coke and fries. Hungry Jack's Malibu Whopper. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
The following interview with Rob Kieran was recorded just a few months ago.
Can we just go back to why you are the leader? Why did you take the leadership? What was the passion in the first place? Why are you the leader? And why do you want to be the leader?
Well, that's historic. Why do I want to be the leader?
Yeah.
Authorised by D. Feeney for the ALP Adelaide.
All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces.
The brand new season of CSI Sunday, 8:30 on 9.
All tied up at Aurora Stadium, half-time, Adelaide versus Hawthorn, 25 points apiece as darkness descends on this magnificent stadium. It is still a balmy 24 degrees. Perfect conditions for footy, and I reckon the president of the Hawthorn Footy Club would be pretty pleased with the way the young Hawks been able to come back. Mr. Kennett, welcome.
Gary, thank you. Yes, I think the way they stuck to the task in that second quarter to finish up level at half-time is a good effort, particularly given the start that Adelaide got.
They struggled to get their hands on the footy. It's a beautiful ground. It is a great setting. We were just commenting on it. You guys are committed to Aurora Stadium in Tassie?
Yes, very much. We're going to play 3 games here this year. This is a 4th, of course, but 3 in the main competition. And it's good for us, and I think it's good for Tasmania. I mean, they're part of the country. We want a national game. They're not going to be able to fund their own game in their own club in the foreseeable future, and for them to form an association with an AFL club, I think is good for the competition. If that's Hawthorn, we're very happy about it.
Absolutely. You've been a great football state, of course, produced many superstars, Peter Hudson amongst them. You've done a bit of facility changing in recent times, of course. Farewell to Glenferrie Oval, big night last Thursday night with the Legends game. I mean, was this an emotional time for you, or is this just progress?
No, it was emotional and progress. 100 years we'd been at Glenferrie, and that concluded it, and we've got our family day there this weekend, but it was also the start of the next 100 years. I stood up where the boys were coming out of the race there and looked back down the ground to where I used to stand with my father. And those gum trees, which are against the railway line obviously, just around there towards Glenferrie Road is where I used to stand with Dad 52 years ago as a young nipper, watching them play in very different conditions to what our footballers play today. But it is part of change, and just as Collingwood has changed home, so too must we.
Great to see a roll-up of former players there who played in that game, which is an indication of the spirit at Hawthorn. But I mean, you can understand, I guess, some of the older members, hard members, who are a bit hesitant about the new facilities out in Waverley. But I guess once they see them, and we're about to have a look at them, it is a pretty exciting time.
I don't think they're worried, Gary, about the facilities. I think they all realise they are probably the best within any Melbourne club. I mean, they are quite
better than Collingwood.
Yes, because we don't share. No, because we don't share them. We don't share the area where they train. We don't share the oval. The oval's next to us. We have plenty. Look at that Waverley ground. Isn't it just stunning?
It is. Best I've ever seen it.
But some of the older members are concerned about not having a social club in Hawthorn, which you can understand. But unfortunately, it's like everything else. When you move home, you don't leave your lounge room back at the old residence. And the social club's been costing us $30,000 a month. The poker machines went back. No one was using them. Same with the tip. They've been there for about 4 or 5 years. I don't know who bought them in, but they've been there for a number of times, but the people around there don't use them.
You've got to move on, there's no doubt about that, and absolutely the right decision. And you guys have got a very big day tomorrow in terms of family day and membership, because it is an ongoing commitment. You mentioned the $30,000 a month that you've been dropping, so this is a day to get down to Glenferrie Oval tomorrow.
Yeah, big day for us, and we're also selling some of the material and merchandise and some of the old memorabilia, of which we've got more than one, even things like the goalposts. I mean, I think the condition is you've got to take them with you when you leave the ground, so if you buy a goalpost, you're in a bit of trouble.
You can put one up in your stately mansion.
I would love to take a goalpost. I think it's a fantastic idea. I don't know what condition they're in, but it'll be a bit of fun.
You enjoying the presidency?
Yes, I'm in the early days. It's a steep learning curve. I have, as you probably know, 4 children. I've now realised I've got 44. And when the phone rings and you hear a player's had an accident or an injury, you feel for them, so it's a whole new ball game as far as I'm concerned.
And now the footy show coming up, of course. When do we want to pencil you in? First, second, third?
Are you hosting it? Did I read the other day? Well, I wouldn't be worried about your ratings at this stage. I mean, if you're that desperate that you need me on, you're obviously in trouble.
You will be available.
I will look at the content of the show and the quality of it, and I will make a decision down the track. I would rather my CEO talk if it's football. I'd rather my coach talk if it was football. Look, I'm just a former whatever it is, mate.
You're an old hat.
We'll see how we go.
Like the rest of us, Jeff. Thanks for joining us. Good luck tonight. The Hawks locked 25 points apiece at Adelaide Aurora Stadium. We'll take a break. Back with third quarter action here. NAB Cup quarterfinals.
National 9 News Update, brought to you by the all-new Nissan Tida. It makes you feel really, really, really good inside.
Good evening. A northern suburbs couple has been dealt a cruel blow. Their house went up in flames early this morning, but as they were being treated in hospital for smoke inhalation, thieves stole $3,000 worth of jewellery from their home. Protesters have accused police of using violence towards them at a function in Melbourne last night. It was to celebrate the PM's 10 years in office, but was marred by the group who threw bottles and eggs at his car. And if re-elected, the state government says it will spend $8 million upgrading the festival centre. Warm tomorrow, top of 34 degrees.
Local? Yeah, we're local. Buy any 6 or more bottles of wine at Woolworths Liquor and we'll offer you 20% off the lot. The amazing 20% off wine sale is on right now. So hurry in to Woolworths Liquor.
For summer fun, get into my place, Clark Rubber.
Make Clark Rubber your place with everything for summer fun. There's a famous Clark pool to suit every Aussie family with pool chemicals, filters and accessories galore. There's pool inflatables, games and everything in outdoor living. Of course, we cut foam to all shapes and sizes. And if it's made of rubber, we've got it. Don't forget Clark Pool Servicing with our Clark Pool Health Check and Clean. Perfect for in-ground or above-ground pools. Call 13 80 90.
Cool, Clarky.
Your deli choices roll, ma'am.
Daydreaming is a great way to fill in time while we freshly make your deli choices roll at McDonald's.
Sunbeam Home Care and Kitchen Appliances deliver deep fryers, jugs, toasters, irons, fry pans and grills to make your life easier. But best of all, you'll come back for Sunbeam because we really deliver on price.
'Cause we deliver on price.
Join us in Adelaide for 3 heavenly days and nights in the magnificent Botanic Park for Wome Adelaide 2006. 430 artists from 27 countries will transport us around the globe with music, dance and culture. Celebrate the sounds of the planet, March 10 to 12, Botanic Park Adelaide. Log on to womeadelaide.com.au for full details and bookings.
It's time for some light relief.
Men having unfortunate accidents.
So side splitting, it'll leave you needing stitches.
Where the hell did they get them?
Magda's Funny Bits, Tuesday, 7:30 on 9.
Well, what a magnificent night it is for football here in Tasmania. Aurora Stadium, Launceston, 25 points apiece. And boys, we are just broadcasting al fresco, it should be said, out in the open, this grandstand, which is a magnificent development, not far away from finishing. But Brian and Dwayne, look at the vista out there. That is just some beautiful outlook, isn't it?
We are in a construction zone here, Gary.
Well, we're happy to be.
And by the way, there's a bit of rain at the opposite way to which we look at the moment.
Oh, there's rain out there, is there?
It's lightning, Gary.
Oh, where is the rain?
In the hills of Launceston, it's starting to strike trees like you wouldn't believe.
What sort of cattle would you run out there, Bryson?
You, Angus?
Let's go down to the boundary. The young Angus bull down there, Chris Jones, ready to go.
Oh, BT, I've actually got your back because it really has clouded over here, and it's really, Dwayne has gone from a day match into a night match. The lights have really kicked in just on Chance Bateman. He got a heavy knock on the shin, but he will start this second half on the ground.
Good evening, Jonesy. Thanks for that. That's the incident that Chris Jones referring to. A knock to the shin. Wouldn't think they'd risk him. Had a pretty fair half, Chance Bateman. There he comes. No boot. Well, a boot and sock in hand, so maybe would be there if needed, but perhaps wouldn't risk him at this stage. In fact, they have risked him. Thanks, Jonesy. He's out on the wing. They just rushed him back out there. So
he's just giving you a wink, Gary, to say he's okay.
That is good news for Hawthorn supporters.
He's only got Andrew McLeod to go with, so he might have to do a bit of running. Scores level as we start this second half. Van Berlo tried to fire at a handball to Thompson. There he is, Bateman. He looks fine. Hodge back to Crode through traffic and a long 60-metre kick towards Roughhead. Gets edged under the ball by Bock. Couldn't bring the mark in. Harry Miller overran it. Bock chips the kick. Knights just the required distance. Got the handball out, and Massey's kick not so good. How will it bounce for Biglands? Kindly for the big man. Spears the pass in Burton's direction. Over his head, Perry. Big bump from him. McGregor to Burton. Crowdbretter was going in that direction. Missed Burton, though, whose slick handball is good. Found Bernie Vince. Now to McGregor. He might go back to Vince. Ignores him. Goes to goal and misses.
are behind.
See, they're very fortunate. 3 Hawthorn defenders went at Brett Burton on that occasion. They all fell over and were taken to ground, which allowed a couple of Adelaide forwards to stand up. They were just lucky that Kevin McGregor didn't have his boots on.
Mitchell for the Hawks. They trail by a point. Been not much in it other than the first 3 goals of the game, which all went Adelaide's way. And since then, it's been tight. Roughhead sends it to half-forward. Here's Franklin. The hole will be Vandenberg's. No, against Vandenberg.
Richie, it's not yours. Adelaide, give it to him now.
Umpire explaining to Richie that he should give it up. And he does. The Crows going wide. McGregor getting down to take a difficult one. Couldn't quite complete it. Now it's picked up in the end by Ladson. He's got absolutely no one downfield to kick to. There were 2 forwards that were in the forward half of the ground. And a boundary line is a good result.
Yeah, people just been working on the radar. No rain within 50 kilometres of Aurora Stadium at this point in time, Brian.
We are going to get a shot of the hills, Gary, and I am going to show you where it is.
Well, no rain on the radar at all.
If we can get a shot of the hills, I'm going to show you the clouds. There they are.
That's called darkness, Brian.
Vandenberg was monstered, so he get another ball up in this AFL day-nighter. First half played in daylight. And
thanks, Richie. Well done,
on a beautiful night it is for football now, and Richie Vandenberg has to hand it over for the umpire for the second time in the last 30 seconds. Harry Miller to Bateman. He got caught, he got dumped after he got rid of the ball, so Chance Bateman. He kicked the winning goal on the siren here a couple of years ago for the Hawks. Goes with a chip kick towards Hodge, shrugs the tackle, strong-legged, gave to Mitchell, inside 50 to Miller, thinks about running on, runs himself into trouble, runs out of trouble, and misses to the near side.
Well, can you be too clever in the end? He did all the hard work, Harry Miller, got around the player, and then tried to kick a banana rather than run in and kick a drop punt.
Wasn't a great angle, Gary, was it, that he needed the banana?
I wouldn't have thought so. We'll have a good look at it here.
Yep.
That was lovely play.
No banana needed there. That's a drop punt all the way.
Spoken from the former Coleman medalist. End of story. Full stop.
This man here, Riley, will be a real star for Adelaide. He's got great poise, has great foot skills. Gary, keep an eye on him.
Your boy.
He is very good, very good from the Romsey area.
Not off.
And the Crows through the middle of the ground. Bernie Vince in 6 months has gone from playing seconds to West Torrens to now the elite level as Perry comes in on the left boot. A long ball, just a minor score. Yes, Bernie Vince, halfway through last year, was playing for the West Torrens Football Club, and all of a sudden now playing in the AFL.
Was a South Australia junior state cricket rep as well, so gave up cricket. Another player who gave up cricket to play this great game. Inside 50, Roughhead, runs back onto it, tucked into the pocket, tackled by Massey. Box got him now. How will the umpire view this? Stalemate, and he'll ball it up.
Good effort, Massey. Really good chase. Roughhead had worked back under the footy and was able to get back onto it pretty quickly. He's just got to get busy, Jared Roughhead. He's got to get to more contests as well.
There's your man Riley. As you said, 5th year on the list, though. He's meant to get it going soon. Hodge through traffic across the face. And Hodge puts it out of bounds on the full.
The first 2 or 3 years, Gary, they were reluctant to play Riley and Dwayne.
Their first round pick back in 2001, they took him pick 12 and only played the 44 games.
You really like him, Brian, don't you?
Yes. Massey, a top 10 pick for the Blues. Has he done enough for a top 10 pick? I mean, it's no licence that you're going to do well,
Broke his leg badly, Chris Massey, which didn't help.
They got the better out of the deal, Adelaide. They gave Andrew Eccles to Carlton in that spot.
We are well researched tonight. There's no doubt about that. Henschel. Short ball in. Thompson. Inside 50, within the journey, you would think.
Pulled up lame, Trent Henschel. After that, he just so impressed with these big, tall forwards for Adelaide. Not too often you see them jumping at the same footy either, which speaks volumes for their ability to work in different areas of the forward half. He's a good kick, Scott Thompson, too. He was a hell of a pickup for Adelaide for Melbourne last year.
Thompson, not a super goal. Man on the mark, stands just inside 50. But will kick it just outside 50. Beautiful delivery. That is a great kick. And the first goal for Adelaide since the 4-minute mark of the first quarter.
The countdown is on at Radio Rentals. But you can race in early and get your choice of 5, 4, 3, 2 or 1 year's interest-free. On Radio Rentals' massive range of widescreen, plasma and LCD TVs. A huge selection of fridges and freezers. And even fabulous furniture. Plus, Radio Rentals will beat any price. Get set for all the action at SA's biggest electrical retailer. You'd be mad to shop anywhere else.
24 games in his debut season for the Adelaide Crows. 24 of their 25. Scott Thompson after 39 games with the Demons. And a nice accurate kick there to stretch the margin again. Mitchell plays on out of the middle. Vice-captain for the Hawks this year. That is a great kick. Young. And he marked it in Super Goal territory, but that thin leg might not be able to make the range. Clifton Young began last year on the rookie list. As we said, 14 possessions last week.
Oh, Joel Smith on his own, inside 50.
He's going to go for the big one, Gary. 9 points. Left foot kick. Pretty good off the boot. It's going. It's going. It's still alive. Biglands on the line. Got it towards Bode. Gets the handball out to Skipworth. Long-ish kick. High-ish kick. Centre of the ground and the good mark taken by Taylor. Hands off to Crode. He gives a quick one off to Zach Dawson. Vandenberg mops it up. Now Guerra, caught, good tackle. Burton ran him down and pulled him down like a calf.
Fantastic chase from Brett Burton. Forward running hard to help out. Great chase.
Silly place in the end. He knew he had to go behind the mark and he tried to play on. Wasted vital time while they had 3 players downfield, but now they move it. Bateman. Mitchell is brilliant by hands. Vandenberg to Ladston, who's given them plenty of run all night. Driving ball inside 50. Here they go. Goes the big fella in Biglands. Couldn't complete the mark. Off hands. Kick, I think, is out of bounds on the full. It is. And I think that was Bock. Play on immediately. Kick long by Boyle. Goes towards Roughhead. Couldn't control the ball. Here's Biglands. Doing well, the big fella. Roughhead overran the ball. Needs to get body behind it, Gary. Biglands has done well, exceptionally well for a tall ruckman in that situation. But Hawthorn still alive. Ladson. Ground level ball. And we'll have a ball up here. Umpire. Well, he let it go. Now Ladson, short ball. Williams on the lead.
Full. Well, he did do well, Big Rep Biglands. Didn't think he went back quite hard enough the first time, but then he had 4 or 5 other efforts. I think most players in that situation thought that the ball was going to be balled up, as you call, Brian, but the play on was allowed, and now Mark Williams has a shot at goal.
He does indeed, looking for his second goal. Directly in front, Williams. He's normally a very accurate kick for goal, and this is no exception. The Hawks back in business.
Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing.
Just a quick reminder that Metropolitan Plumbing can fix leaking taps, block drains, plus hot water repairs and replacement within the hour. All areas, 24 hours, 7 days. Yes, 7 days a week.
Metropolitan Plumbing.
And you mentioned the 63 goals he kicked, Gary. He's got the most efficient goal-kicking run-up of any player in the comp. He's a 6-stepper. And Trent Henschel at the other end takes 34 steps.
Let the 30 seconds go.
So Neitz takes about 14, Russell Robertson about 14. Most players take upwards of 13 or 14.
You got to get out more, Pipe.
No, it's any kid who wants to learn how to kick a goal. Mark Williams is the one, and Trent Henschel is not. From the ball up. And we'll get a secondary ball up.
Come down with the tackle. Thank you.
Ball handed back by Tim Clark. 41 games last year. Averaged 18 possessions last year, Tim Clark, and his best season yet. Hawthorn free kick, arms over the shoulder. They're looking good, Hawthorn. They're only a point behind, but they've got some momentum. Go over the mark, Taylor is told. So Simon Taylor, playing at home, a Tasmanian, goes long, rough head to big leap. Couldn't bring the ball down. Smith, Thompson. Smith gets there first. Thompson gets him. Too high. Play on advantage. Clark to Mitchell. Centering kick, top of the square. Reese had it, lost it. Forced to lay the tackle on Hinge. Ball still alive. Roughhead finds the handball target. Clark now to Mitchell. He's caught. That's holding the ball. Umpire says no play on. They've changed more rules. From the ball in. Long kick by Jericho. High towards half forward. Big fly by Brown. Couldn't bring it down. Brings down McGregor and brings him down. Oh, nearly illegally. And it was in super goal territory too.
A big fly by Brown was impressive, but he let the footy get behind him, which could have cost him. Sam Mitchell's the one that's been sparking Hawthorn this quarter.
Two Adelaide ruckmen collide there. A misunderstanding. I tell you what, the Hawks are just pressuring the Crows now in this last 5 or 6 minutes. They've done all the attacking. McLeod, short ball Edwards. Plays on immediately, deliberately to McGregor at centre forward. Went under the ball. Now the Hawks can respond. Ladson has had 27 possessions in this game already. Got it out wide to Miller. On the left. Offering the lead, Williams.
Great kick, Harry Miller.
Super goal territory. Williams, long ball, top of the square. Mark has been taken by Bailey.
Well,
Max Bailey.
It was a great mark, Brian, made even greater by the opposition. And he is a young man playing his first game of footy. That is a beautiful left foot pass to Williams. Williams got the ball on quick, should be more of it. One out in the goal square. And have a look at this and have a look at who he's opposed to. Well, we will in a minute. Ben Rutten it was.
Taking it, pick 18 in the draft. He's got it. He's happy with it. Hawks are back in front. Bailey's got his first goal in footy.
Sometimes, to get what you want, you need some words of experience. Which is where we come in. So what is it you want?
Max Bailey, first game, All-Australian fullback, just a hip and shoulder, one grab, pluck on the goal line. Nice way to get your first kick in senior footy.
Height, one out there too, Gary. Second tallest player in the competition now, Max Bailey. The boy from West Perth. From the ball up, Goodwin, who started on the bench, to Marek. Nice handball to John Hinge. Long inside 50, Perry. Zach Dawson right with him, Jacobs. And now Crow, tucked against the boundary line. He can't find a target. He finds Bode. Too far out to score, Matty Bode.
Play on.
Short pass to Henschel. Gets the play on call. Caught. Got it up just in time. Long kick. Super goal chance for Skipworth. And he's put it through.
Can it get any better? Any more value? The NEC Versa P80-100. Awesome performance made possible by Intel Centrino mobile technology and an Intel Pentium M processor. With 256 meg 3D video, DVD burner, fast 80 gig hard drive, 512 meg of RAM, internal subwoofer and 2-year warranty. This bargain's only $19.99. Try and find a better deal in Australia. Now at A&R, it just doesn't get any better.
So Chris Knight's 2 goals tonight. That second one there was a super goal, and the Vermont Football Club $1,000 richer thanks to NAB, his grassroots football club.
Fantastic initiative it is, and $1,000 goes a long way to grassroots footy clubs.
It does indeed.
In there, Hawthorn. Play on, advantage.
Out of the middle, Mitchell, Ladson, a leading possession getter on the ground, sends it on the way. This time, the more experienced Rutten with the front position.
Max Bailey's thinking, all Australian? What are you all Australian? Now he finds out.
Edwards.
Half-back flank held up. Started on the bench, Tyson Edwards. Only the 6 possessions last week against Port Adelaide, so just working his way into the season slowly. Finds Bode. 42 plays, 38. Big super goal from Knights. Bach. High, wobbly kick. Narek, Campbell. Goodwin flew. Campbell came down with the ball. Gets caught just in time to Reese. Now Bateman. He can go long if he wants. He goes inboard to Clark. Put it behind him and put Clark under immense pressure. Now Riley, Goodwin, McLeod. Haven't seen a lot of Andy McLeod. Goes wide. Henschel might be first onto this, will be first onto it. Runs to 50, just on the line and sprays it. It is tempting, I think, the super goal. You just get a little carried away. The rush of blood, the excitement factor, and whoops.
Good contest now between Henschel and Jacobs.
4 points to Adelaide at the moment as we speak. Sewell with a long ball Bateman's direction. Bode to keep him honest, the 2 10s. And there is Hinge, who Gary has nicknamed the Door. I don't think it's that funny, Gary.
You are unbelievable.
Crows inboard, looking for Perry and the big fella Campbell across the face.
You're solid, Riser, I tell you what.
Robert Campbell setting the Australian, the big ruckman for Hawthorn, about 5 years on the Hawthorn list. It's time I did something. He's hoping to make this his year. Smith through the midfield. Goes with a long kick. Williams can't quite get there to attempt the mark. Race on. Boundary line might beat them both. Williams keeps it alive. Superb chip kick over the head of Clark. Marrick gets back. Big man with some poise. Bit of poetry in slow motion. Gave to Edwards. Now longish, McLeod. He'll enjoy a run if he can get around Williams. Spots Henschel a long way from goal. He can play on. Dishes it up to Bode. Runs to half forward. Perry's the intended target. Flies. Crowe's fist wins out. Thumps it all the way across the line and will get a ball in.
Well, Zach Dawson, he will have learned a lot. Great effort here. Chris Massey should know better than that to just run past the fellow who's at the contest. But Zach Dawson on Perry will be learning more tonight than probably he has in 5 years of footy.
We have got a game for you on 9 tonight. Tight one. Jacobs. Crowe tidies up around the back door to Brown. The skipper. Vandenberg now Mitchell. So good run here. The kick execution by Mitchell was poor on that occasion.
With nothing presenting for him either up the ground.
As Chris Knight's got the super goal a moment ago. Ball in dispute. Picked up in the end by Jericho. High ball one. Here we go. What can we see in the air? Mark's been taken. I don't know whether it will be paid. The free kick. There you go. You heard the umpire. Fair enough. Campbell Brown.
As against Ian Perry on that occasion.
So Brown to Bateman, and he runs the defensive 50. Put him under a bit of pressure. The handball back to Jacobs and a chance Bateman again. Long kick, wide kick, and not a very good kick, and it rolls out of play in front of Roughhead and Rutten.
Yeah, Jared Roughhead. He's got, look at the numbers there for Rick Ladson, and Sam Mitchell's been sensational this quarter particularly. Bateman had that knock, spent some time on the bench getting a bit of footy.
Campbell and Marrick. Marrick got a fingernail on it. Lewis, and the number 3 this year, Lewis, after the 40 last year. Edwards. John Cock shrugs the tackle, tries to knock it out. Campbell stole it. Rolling ball, Boyle. Riley pinched it, gave it to Goodwin. Goes wide. No chance here. Does well in the end. Bernie Vince gets the kick away to half forward. But it's all Hawthorn. Guerra spots Bateman in the middle. Puts it on his chest. Bateman plays on. Franklin's the intended target. Can't quite get there. Bock got one a little high. Rutten and now Massey. Burton's short if he wants him. Bock gives to Burton and he's away from half back.
He's indeed. Right in front of the interchange area, Perry. The run of McLeod is good. The skills are great. Adelaide look good now. Moving the ball forward, Vince. Long ball, Edwards. Did well, the Hawks. Edwards recovered though. He wants someone to help. Hodge. Vandenberg. In one side, out the other, Clark. Looks to kick it low. And long, looking for Boyle. Boyle's got to beat a couple. Probably happy to see the boundary in the end. With just under 3 minutes remaining in the third.
Yeah, well, they do look likely, don't they, Adelaide? I mean, McLeod and Goodwin and Edwards and these blokes, Burton, who have not been super prominent.
Neil Craig in the coach's box there with David Noble, the former Western Bulldogs assistant. Now with the Crows. High tackle.
High tackle.
Okay. That's Jordan Lewis. 2 minutes 37 remaining. Lewis has got the ball just forward of the centre wing on the outer side here at Aurora Stadium on a spectacular night for football. Ball driven inside the 50. Hawks need something to happen in the air. Williams at ground level. Hard at it was Massey. Franklin picks it up, was stripped of the ball by Riley. Franklin, second effort was good. Got to get it out now, he'll be pinged. Should be pinged for pulling the ball in. Correct decision.
He's not far away, is he, Buddy Franklin? He just, again, does everything right, but just the finishing of his work tonight has let him down a bit.
Bog to Edwards to the outer side. Chris Massey takes some time, pops it up, hoping for Biglands, who's having a rest up forward at the moment. Court, good tackle. Jericho back to Biglands, inside 50, bouncing ball. Henschel might give it off, goes for the goal instead, and has snapped it.
Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing. Metropolitan Plumbing.
Just a quick reminder that Metropolitan Plumbing can fix leaking taps, block drains, plus hot water repairs and replacement within the hour. All areas, 24 hours, 7 days. Yes, 7 days a week.
Metropolitan Plumbing.
Alistair Clarkson on the phone knowing there's only a minute and a half just over left, and the Crows have got a little bit of a mini run on. They hit 2 goals in a row. They lead it by 10 points. As we come towards three-quarter time, Jordan Lewis shrugging the tackle. Smith, no one at half forward for the Hawks. Concock overrunning the ball. Ball now picked up in the end by Bock. Short kick is good. Needed to get the hands out in front. Jericho. Well done by Guerra.
Great kick.
Hawks to Williams. Marks. Surely he would know roughly the time. A minute and a quarter left. Little chip kick. He's a very unselfish forward, which is unusual. And the Hawks will have this one before half-time. Clark, who's not a long kick, will get the opportunity for Hawthorn.
Well, I don't know whether Mark Williams wouldn't have been as good a chance. That was a beautiful kick from Franklin. But anyway, Tim Clark's got it. He's in the leadership group. We saw Vandenberg kick an important leader's goal. He needs to kick this, Tim Clark.
Need a little right to left about this one. Gets out, and there it is. It's coming back now. Well done. Beautifully measured. The Hawks just before three-quarter time or within
4. Sometimes, to get what you want, you need some words of experience. Which is where we come in. So what is it you want?
A nice piece of unselfish work from Mark Williams, who kicked 23% of Hawthorn's score last year. The first time anyone's done that for Hawthorn since Jason Dunstall. And Tim Clark has made it a 4-point ball game with seconds remaining. Now he might have enough time here for just a ball up and a takeaway. 11 seconds as Clark gives it back. Don't hold the call. Marek slaps it down. Taylor can't quite get it out. Seconds tick away. And that should do us to three-quarter time. A 4-point lead to the Adelaide Crows. Neil Craig and Alistair Clarkson. They know what's on the end of this, and that is a perfect preparation for the season proper. The winner of this clash will play Melbourne next week in a semi-final of the NAB Cup. If it's Adelaide, it could be a game played at Amy Stadium, and it might be at the Telstra Dome if Hawthorn get up tonight. Don't go anywhere. 4-point lead to the Adelaide Crows at three-quarter time.
This sports update brought to you by the good guys. Pay less, pay cash.
Hello, I'm Leif Mulligan. Nathan Brown has made a successful comeback from the broken leg he suffered last year, kicking 2 goals as Richmond beat the Bulldogs in Shepparton. Australia is searching for answers after its record loss to South Africa. A Superbike Battle of Troy at Phillip Island, with Bayliss beating Corsa to pole for tomorrow's race. And 8-year-old Fields of Omar makes history in the Futurity Stakes. Have a great night.
Are you Australia's craziest sports fan? Bring in your sports fan photo or memory card to any of the Good Guys stores and you could win a Kodak dual lens 5-megapixel digital camera or a Philips 106cm widescreen plasma TV. Get your sports fan photo to the Good Guys now.
What you need, what you want, yeah. Do it, yeah. Do it good. Do it right. Woo! Do it now. Come on. Woo!
Whatever your lifestyle needs, contact Stratco or an authorised Outback dealer today.
Hey, where's my wheat bix?
There are real sanitarium wheat bix, and there are cheaper coffees. But only whole grain sanitarium wheat bix provides double the zinc and 6 times more folate to help young bodies grow, and twice the iron to fuel muscles and energy. So to be your best, there's only one sanitarium wheat bix. How many do you do?
Compare the pair. Same age, same income, same super contribution. Yet there could be a lifetime of difference in their final retirement payout. His fund does not pay commissions to financial advisors. His fund does pay commissions. His fees are lower. His fees are higher. Industry super funds are run only to profit members. Industry super funds, a lifetime of difference.
Comparisons show projected outcomes applying today's average fees of industry super funds and retail master trusts over 31 years. Differences in fees may change in the future, and this would alter the outcome.
Channel 9 now brings you the results of tonight's Lotto draw. For further details of Lotto and Super 66 results, call 1900 989 101.
The guts, the glory, and oh, the pain.
How many operations have you had? 13.
Why Aussie sports heroes keep coming back for more.
It is just sport. Out.
And the hardest words you'll ever have to say.
It scares me, to be honest. Like, it really scares me.
Depression. The breakthrough beating the secret killer. Toyota presents 60 Minutes, Sunday, 7:30.
Both Neil Craig and Alistair Clarkson, the coaches of these respective teams, stated through the week that they were in this to win at the Nat Cup, and the game is being played in that manner. 4 points to margin at three-quarter time. It was all tied up at half-time. Sammy Mitchell had 11 touches in the third quarter for the Hawks to get them going. And for the Adelaide Crows, it is Matthew Bode, the leading possession winner, 18. Mark Williams has got 2. A super goal to Richie Vandenberg. Let's go down to Chris Jones with Hawthorn assistant Damien Hardwick.
What was the message of that three-quarter time break?
Oh, just our clearance work was really good. We won the clearances in the quarter, 8-3, and probably just over handballing a little bit. The conditions are quite slippery, as you can see. Guys are dropping chest marks, so just get on the boot, move the ball forward. Anything centre forward, let's get it in there.
So where do you think you can win the game?
Oh, I think we've got the scoring end this quarter, to be honest. All the score seems to be this end, and our forwards are just starting to get the handle on the ball, which has been really good.
And a great moment for Big Max Bailey too.
Yeah, if you had a look at the box went up as one as well, to be honest. Terrific moment. He's going to be a great player for us in the future, so we're looking forward to his development.
Thanks, mate. Good luck. Just before I go, boys, Hayden Skipworth was off for the end of the third quarter there with a bit of a left leg injury. I'm not sure if he'll start this final term on the ground or not, but I'll get back to you.
Good on Jonesy, thanks for that. Slippery conditions. Some of that rain that Brian Taylor said was in the hills must have just snuck down and we didn't see it, Brian.
Moisture, humid, Gary. Humid.
Humidity.
here tonight is very, very high. And that is why rain is a possibility.
When was the last time they had humidity in Tasmania?
Even though it's been a 43-degree day here.
Well, we are set up for a big last quarter. There's no doubt about it. When it gets to this stage, all bets are off. It's going to be a pretty intense final quarter. You'd expect the big names for Adelaide, who have been pretty quiet, let's be honest. McLeod and Goodwin, particularly, Edwards, Thompson as well. They're really prime movers in the middle of the ground to get busy.
Do you see them playing most of the quarter, Gary, those prime players?
I think so. They haven't been overextended. I mean, they have spent a fair bit of time on the bench as Edwards is about to start there once again. But the Hawks have been able to answer most challenges, but it is the Crows with a 4-point margin.
It is indeed. Start of the last quarter. We've got a tight one here at Aurora Stadium in Launceston. Crows and the Hawks, Hodge through traffic. Brilliantly, Williams has got the set. Should have taken the mark. Now it's Roughhead. Gathers, Ladson has got plenty of it tonight around the corner. Vandenberg did well. The punch away then from Matner was good, but here's Franklin. Keeps it alive. What's inboard? Goes the left foot, drop punt. And kicked it out of bounds on the full across the face.
He's an exciting talent. I probably banged on too much about Lance Franklin tonight, but he's got some athleticism and recovery. His recovery back on the footy for a 6'5" man is exceptional.
Thompson has it in the back pocket for Adelaide. They've got Henschel playing in defence at the moment too, Adelaide. Kick towards McGregor. Half-back flank over his head. And content to take it out of play is Campbell.
Well, Henschel, he's just waving at the moment. Right now he's up against Roughhead. He's got his hand in the air. McGregor might be pushing back there.
From the ball in, you heard the play on call. Slick handball from Bernie Vince is good. John Cock, chip kick, half forward, bouncing ball. Nice pick up, beautiful pick up. Jericho from Super Goal territory. There it is!
Standard broadband not fast enough? You need A&R's ADSL2 Plus broadband. Up to 50 times faster than standard broadband. And up to 400 times faster than dial-up internet. No dial-up cost. Don't tie up your phone line. No setup fee. Get a free modem for less than $1.40 a day. A huge 5 gig limit. A&R ADSL2 Plus broadband. Internet that's smoking.
Well, a big goal from Jericho. He thought about the handball out to the left, said, no, I'll do this one from 51 metres out. And that is the third super goal of the night. And what was the club?
Waikerie.
$1,000 richer thanks to NAB.
The home of Mark Rasciuto. They still won't take his name off the entry sign.
Ladson inboard to Campbell.
Stay there, thanks. Play on.
Just forward of the centre. The Hawks need one now. Here they come. Williams attacks the ball.
Great effort, McGregor.
It was indeed, Gary. Very courageous indeed. The Crows in numbers out the back door. The poise of these experienced defenders starting to show a little now. Riley inboard. Thompson. And here's one of them. McLeod just pleases himself what speed he goes at, but beats all comers at most speeds. Over the head. Campbell Brown's got to tidy up. Sees Crode inboard, so well done. And not sure what Trent Crode was doing there, but it's given Burton a chance. From super goal territory, goes short. It'll be costly. Jericho again.
Well, Adelaide Crows are steadied like the very, very good side that they are. Some of the experienced players starting to win a bit of footy, but it helps when Trent Crode kicks like that. Now, what was he thinking? Game in the balance. Just puts it up there.
Jericho to make it a 19-point lead early in the last quarter. Comes in. Kick on the waist, hit the post. It's back in play. Play on. That's the rules in this NAB Cup. And the Hawks out of defence safely.
Got out of jail there, so little handball is good to Hodge from Ladson. And now Smith trying to make amends. Couldn't outmark Burton, but he outruns him here. Left foot kick towards Franklin. Matner falls. Franklin, Matner's over it, gets it out. John Cock.
Good effort.
Lends assistance. Goes wide to Burton. Has a bounce. Make that 2, 3. 4. He might go the whole way. Sends it long. No one's in the goal square. They get back, and Danny Jacobs got back first in front of Jericho and took the mark. Pops it up to Guerra.
So frustrating that, though, to have 4 bounces. Probably only needed to have 2, but then blaze away and kick to an unmarked Hawthorn defender. I mean, that just poor return when you got the footy in space on your own.
Clinton Young from Minya Matoa has played 7 home and away games for the Hawks. Gives it outboard and finds Brent Guerra. The Hawks need to find some scoring opportunities. Senior player, former bomber, Jacobs with the ball at half-back, has had 21 touches tonight. Clark, little soccer, will be out of bounds on the full, I think. It will indeed. So free kick Adelaide. True centre wing here. And looks like it'll be Rutten.
Nice return to form, Danny Jacobs. 21 tonight, 25 possessions and 8 marks last week. So good to see him playing some good footy. Rutten, short, Perry.
And not just floating on his own terms, Dwayne. That's been the impressive thing. He's had responsibility for a man all night in Trent Henshaw, who kicked 6 last week, and he's been able to keep him under control.
Perry hasn't quite been as potent this week either. 4-2 last week. Rutten and John Cox share the ball. Chip kick wide, and there's the man, Danny Jacobs. Got half-back flank, he holds it up. 57 plays, 44, he goes backwards, this will be play on. Lewis under pressure, Burton cuts it off. Ball alive, Burton slams it out, does well, Henschel drifts down, and he slams it home. He's got 3.
The countdown continues at Radio Rentals.
But you can dive in early and get your choice of 5, 4, 3, 2 or 1 year's interest free.
On Radio Rentals' massive range of widescreen, plasma and LCD TVs. A huge selection of fridges and freezers. And even fabulous furniture. Plus, Radio Rentals will beat any price. Race in and score a winning deal at SA's biggest electrical retailer. You'd be mad to shop anywhere else.
Adelaide have kicked 4 of the last 5 goals and lead it by 19 points with just under 13 minutes remaining in this game.
Great effort, Brett Burton, Brian.
Still a chance, the Hawks. Thompson to half forward. Got a difficult one. On that occasion did Vince. Thompson, McLeod. A lot of Adelaide players swarming. Here's my man Riley. Got it inboard to Biglands.
High tackle. Back here. Back here as you're kicking it.
Umpire Martin Ellis telling Biglands that it's his kick, too high.
Slow play now, so I'd expect a lot of the Hawthorn midfield to push back into their defensive 50 to try and clog up some of these holes. If they're able to hit an Adelaide player in the lead here, LSD Clark's going to be less than impressed.
Wasn't chosen for round 1 last year at Biglands, but did play every game after that. Kicks inside 50, Burton. How did the umpire view this? He's given it to Burton.
Well, he's seen a jumper tug here from Joel Smith, obviously.
Yeah.
Marginal, but they tend to pay them when they see the jumper come away from the body. They get a bit trigger happy.
It's technically there, but you do like to see those contests, don't you?
You do.
Burton did initiate contact early, and this could seal it. Good kick of the ball normally. That is a spear. And the Adelaide Crows can smell the semi-final.
Sometimes, to get what you want, you need some words of experience. Which is where we come in. So what is it you want?
Burton with his first goal is all smiles. Crows have kicked 3 in a row in this last quarter to extend their lead to 25 points. Biglands didn't even leave the ground. Won the knock just through timing. Hawks have won the clearance though. Vandenberg on the end of this chain of handballs. Long inboard, no mark, off hands. Miller was superb. Runs to the goal. That's the one they needed that they didn't get. And Miller curses himself.
Disappointed with that, Harry Miller. Chance to keep them in the contest. Goodwin goes long towards the wing, dropped by Knights. He's been sensational all night. Will allow him one error.
Some of that humidity just coming into play there.
Must have been, yeah.
Very slippery conditions out there.
2 games last year, Chris Knights made his debut against Hawthorn in round 15. From the ball in, Bigland's got a hand on it. Lewis got a handball up. Good wraparound tackle on Clinton Young. He's taken across the line by Riley. Will get another ball in.
Powerful, aren't they, Adelaide? They're a powerful side. Even the young players have got strong bodies. Work hard.
Biglands does well in the contest against Campbell, who dives in. Stolen by Mitchell. Good clearance specialist to Miller, to Young. Got around a couple. Handball just behind Lewis. Grabbed by Edwards. Chip kick. Bode. He can go all the way here. Runs inside 50 and misses to the near side. Chris Jones.
A few injury concerns down here for Adelaide. Hayden Skipworth, he's icing his left calf. We said at that 3/4 time break he probably missed. Robert Shirley also off for the rest of the game.
Chris Jones there. Down on the boundary.
Doesn't have to go for the umbrella just at the moment.
Has had it by his side all night though, because you never know with the humidity. Campbell Brown around the corner. They're both ganging up on me. It's very unfair. Clinton Young.
This bloke has been great, Ladson.
He has. He has been superb tonight. Short ball.
Crowe's gone forward.
Trenko. Ladson's had 31 disposals in the game so far. High ball. Adelaide players line up for the punch here. Burton was one of those. Miller kicked the last goal for Hawthorn. Was in the hunt there still. Harry Miller working hard. Here's Roughhead. Needs to keep it alive. Boundary line. Throw in deep for the Hawks.
It's a good option that to take it out of bounds, because the umpire comes in 15 metres and throws it to the hot spot.
Look for some space over the back here. Tyson Edwards covering that.
Biglands and Campbell do the right work. Biglands knocked it down. Lewis caught. 3 Crows have got him. He doesn't get it out in time. Edwards got a little rolling ball off his boot towards defensive 50. Vandenberg left it behind. Wants to go back in and make amends.
Sit on his back with the knee.
You heard it. Richie Vandenberg's ball. Forward pocket. Tough kick. Centering ball. Play on. That was inside 50, or was it touch? Touch. That's why he called it play on. Bateman to Mitchell. Around the body. Miller's down there full forward. Thumped clear of him by John Cock. Ball still alive. Hawthorn still alive if they can goal here. Rutten tries to send it outside 50. Unsuccessful. Goodwin got the hammer to Matner. He in turn to Burton. Runs it beautifully. Poise and a bounce. And with balance gives to Riley. And again to McLeod. They're away. McLeod looks up. Perry presents. And can't quite grab it on the second attempt. Ball back again. And Guerra will run it out for Hawthorn. It's hot stuff at the moment. There's still time for the Hawks if they're good enough.
Tired, I reckon. There's some tired boys out there.
You get the feeling that the Hawks know that the next scoring shot, if they can get it, they're in the hunt. Here's Mitchell. Long driving ball on the head of Ruff. And he'll get the 3. Roughhead will get the 3 interference. Got a push. Almost directly in front, 20 metres out.
He's called it against Ben Rutten. They had 3-on-1, so there was no real need to push. This is a good lesson for Jared Roughhead. You've got to keep presenting, keep going to the contest, and you might get a lucky one.
This would get them within 19 points with just under 8 minutes remaining. Roughhead has got it. They're within 19, the Hawks.
Can it get any better? Any more value? The NEC Versa P8100. Awesome performance made possible by Intel Centrino mobile technology and an Intel Pentium M processor. With 256 meg 3D video, DVD burner, fast 80 gig hard drive, 512 meg of RAM, internal subwoofer and 2-year warranty. This bargain's only $19.99. Try and find a better deal in Australia. Now at A&R, it just doesn't get any better.
Definitely not a free kick if you're an Adelaide fan. Definitely a free kick if you're a Hawthorn fan.
One of those ones, yep.
Probably in the end, it was a bit marginal, a bit like the Burton one at the other end. You got to pay it.
19 points 7 minutes and 45 seconds and the Hawks get the takeaway. Nice palm to Lewis. Kicks it long. Big fly Boyle. Can't bring the mark down. John Cock caught, dispossessed. Ladson tries to go in and get possession number 32 and he does. Little handball out sideways to Bode though. He in turn to McGregor. Bouncing ball. Jericho, boundary line, Lewis, Smith. The two Hawks combine nicely. Smith to Lewis. Rolling ball. Ladson. He hasn't made a mistake all night. Has now. Makes amends. Reese. Back to Smith. About to get collared. Good tackle. Got a handball out just in time. Bateman shrugs the tackle. Kicks toward 50. Harry Miller's got it. Too far out to score and he knows it. Centering ball. Rough head. No! Van Berlo. Back in the hole. Takes the mark.
Well, they're under enormous pressure at the moment, the Crows. The Hawks need to keep throwing up opportunities. Here's another one from Big Campbell. Got the numbers, Adelaide. Rutten, a little bit iffy at ground level, just on that occasion. Has been good, though. Free kick, Adelaide. It'll be Rutten's ball. Half back.
Important mark of Van Berlo. He was the loose player standing in the hole. It was just one of those ones that was drifting around a bit, but he was very sure with his hands.
19 points Adelaide's way. You can see the clock ticking. 6.5 minutes remaining.
If you're a Hawthorn player, you start thinking super goal here. Is it that stage?
Chris Knights probably is, Gary. They're 19 down with just over 6 minutes remaining, would certainly help. Short ball here. Ends up with Vince. Vince goes forward. That one's out of bounds. Pursued by Chris Knights, who's kicked 2 tonight. One of those a super goal. Not bad for a youngster. And we'll have a boundary throw in true centre wing.
Close, guys.
Adelaide to host the semi-final if they win tonight.
And they'll take on Melbourne. Joel Smith over the top to Lewis. Here go the Hawks. Crow! Drop the chest mark. Slippery conditions, Gary. Crow from super goal territory. Roughhead! Roughhead's going to kick 2 in a row. And the Hawks are going to get it to within 13 points.
Well, there's life in this yet, and Jared Roughhead, he is just persistent, and now it's starting to turn for him.
Here come the Hawks. Roughhead's got 2, they're within 13.
The countdown is on at Radio Rentals.
But you can race in early and get your choice of 5, 4, 3, 2 or 1 year's interest-free. On Radio Rentals' massive range of widescreen, plasma and LCD TVs. A huge selection of fridges and freezers. And even fabulous furniture. Plus, Radio Rentals will beat any price. Get set for all the action at SA's biggest electrical retailer. You'd be mad to shop anywhere else.
Got some weight on his shoulders, Jared Roughhead. A 2004 priority pick, taken pick 2 in the draft, and a lot expected of him, but his shoulders are holding strong right now. 2 goals in a row. Up they fly, Campbell, but down to Goodwin. High kick to half forward. Henschel flies from 4 deep, can't mark it. Knights couldn't break free. Little handle backwards was good to Jacobs from Brown. Guerra goes wide to Ladson. Another possession. Chip kick good to Mitchell.
He's been good.
70 plays 57. 13-point lead and Crowd. Half forward. Gets the free kick.
Yeah, they've got to go quick because they've got 3 on 3 deep.
5 minutes and counting. He goes long and high. Down there. Not able to take the mark, but off hands. Oh, Williams got higher. Umpire didn't fall for it. Max Bailey was up there. Williams was there. Bailey flew. Williams stayed down and didn't get the free.
Good call, I reckon.
I reckon it is too. Not sure whether he touched him. We'll have a look at when we get a chance in the replay. But here's Edwards. Play goes on in the meantime. Edwards under enormous pressure. Got himself out of trouble to Riley. Riley with a play on handball wide to Thompson. 4.5 minutes remaining. 13-point ball game. Kick to half forward. Mark Hamill Brown strong. The Hawks are throwing everything at the Crows at the moment. And Campbell Brown says, settle down, fellas. Yep. Every Adelaide player is currently forward of where Campbell Brown stands.
The Williams non-decision may have been the bravest of the night, or one of the worst. We will see shortly.
Simon Taylor. Short ball to Reese. Can go short in the middle if he wants. Adelaide getting back in big numbers.
Big Marek has filled the hole down there. Big Ivan.
Yeah. Young. Drives it over the top. Here's Roughhead! Oh,
I'll tell you what.
He's going to kick 3 in a row and get it to single figures.
Win or lose tonight, Roughhead and Franklin, they are the real deal. Don't you worry about that. This boy was he was a bit messy early, but he's hung in there and he's lining up for his third in 5 minutes.
To get it back to a one-kick game, keeping in mind the super goal, Roughhead. Oh, he's faltered. And just the minor score.
Crows are just got to be composed. 3.5 minutes on the clock. Use the footy.
John Cock to Edwards to Burton, who's free on the wing. Just doesn't want to turn it over, and he does turn it over to Williams.
That's not being composed, Wayne.
Williams has Hodge in the middle if he wants him, but it was a dangerous kick. But you're going to have to start taking chances shortly. He goes wide, Sewell. Inside 3 minutes. 12 points to margin, so it's 2 kicks either way. Gets the call to play on, goes high. Marek under it, waits, got it. Nice mark.
Well, they took so long to kick it, and then they kicked it to an uncontested player. They are the things that would be frustrating to Alistair Clarkson.
Now, this is where the new rule comes into play, because Adelaide must kick the ball forward. They can't kick it backwards to run down the clock, so not as easy as it would be in the home and away season to possess the ball for the 2.5 minutes. Let's have a look at this one where we thought Williams got it high. That's high.
Oh, yeah.
That is definitely high.
It was accidental, but it was high, and that is a free kick.
Yep, and that was right in front of goal, 10 metres out. McLeod through traffic.
Good player.
Talk about poised.
Good player.
One of the best in the competition, and that is a good result for the Adelaide Crows deep in their forward line with just over 2 minutes remaining.
Well, now they'll set up across the middle of the ground. They'll keep a couple of Adelaide players back, make it difficult. What are we looking at there?
Harry just copped the nose of Brett Burton. Boundary throw-in. Taylor working hard. Bode. Campbell Brown. Here go the Hawks. They run. Young. Caught by McLeod. What will the umpire pay here? Dropping the ball. Adelaide's free.
And in pretty good hands too with this man here.
Got a couple of options inside 50. Goes wide, and Bode might kick the sealer.
He's up in Adelaide's best, is this boy, Matthew Bode.
It's a great story, Matty Bode. He wasn't drafted as a 17-year-old, so he quit footy completely. He moved to England, and he went over and played sub-county cricket as an opening bat in the Bolton League.
Did he?
Played a year of cricket over there. Missed footy so much he came home and got drafted by Port Adelaide. Played 29 games there before joining the Crows. Good story of perseverance.
Should write a book on him, Dwayne.
He's persevered tonight, and he has kicked it behind.
Well, it would appear now that Adelaide are through to the semi-final. Next Friday night, we think, at this stage?
It is next Friday night, Gary. Yep. And you think in Adelaide?
I would have thought.
Don't just wipe them off just yet, Gary. Give them another 20 seconds. McGregor off half-back.
There still could be rain too, Brian.
That's right. Thunder.
Oh. Mitchell put his head down, said the umpire, and so no free. Alistair Clarkson. Look at those numbers for Rick Ladson and all of the Hawthorn players in the top 4 there. Some good numbers for their possession getters. Goodwin. Thompson. Backwards Van Berlo. The stand and deliver to centre-half forward will be all the Hawks. Ladson, leading possession getter on the ground. Here's Guerra. Straight to Mitchell. They need to go direct. Crows on the lead. They ignore that. They want to run the ball. Taylor kicks it long. Can anyone get hold of it at that end of the ground? No. And John Cock will tidy up to McGregor.
Dying seconds, the Adelaide Crows into a semi-final against Melbourne next Friday night. And it's likely to be at Amey Stadium. 13-point victory. They started brilliantly. Kicked the first 3 goals of the game, the Adelaide Crows. Scores were tied up at half-time. A good Hawthorn comeback. But the Adelaide Crows, one of the favourites for the 2006 AFL Premiership, into a semi-final of the NAB Cup.
That's a very good result for a very, very good team. In fact, I think both coaches would walk away pretty happy tonight. This Hawthorn side gave a pretty good account of themselves against quality opposition, and some of the young players again well, it gave Hawthorn supporters good cause for optimism down the track. Tyson Edwards, one of the super veterans for Adelaide, will be playing in the NAB Cup semi-final next week. He's down on the ground with Chris Jones.
You'll have Melbourne next week. It was a good win tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit of a battle for us. Hawthorn played really good footy and made us play really hard for it, and we could only play as well as they'd let us. You know, they played pretty well tonight. We're happy with the win now.
You got a pretty good sweat up. What's it been like tonight?
Yeah, it's been pretty humid tonight. The ball was really slippery. There was a fair few fumbles, made us a little bit silly, but yeah, it was a good workout for us.
We counted that you've probably got 8 of your best players still to come back into the side, so you're going well early, aren't you?
Oh yeah, I mean, it's a good opportunity for all of us to get some game time, but more importantly for the younger guys and for some older guys to play in different positions and get used to some different roles. So it's a good start for us.
Well, we think you might be in Adelaide next week, so good luck.
Thanks very much.
There he is, Tyson Edwards, veteran Adelaide Crow star. They did it nicely. They didn't overextend their big-name players who have got a few years on their side in Goodwin and McLeod, and we spoke of Edwards there. They exposed some young players to footy. Knights was impressive once again. Van Berlo's a player. Jericho kicked an important goal when the game was still very much in the balance. They got a game into the big man, Big Ivan Maric. He looks a likely type. And then you go to the other side of the coin, Brian, and the Hawthorn debutant in particular, Bailey, that big mark, that's enough to hang your hat on to say, well, he's going to be a chance.
Fantastic. Kicked the goal, put Hawthorn 5 points in front at the 20-minute mark of the third quarter, important one. And he looked pretty comfortable when he got one-on-one down there. McLeod and the older players, as we suggested, coming into the play later in that last quarter to get them home.
Rick Ladson, super night tonight. Player that missed through injury last year, but again, he's gone 35 possessions after starting the game on the interchange bench.
He's missed the last 4 games with that broken arm. Adelaide Crows have Bassett, Matthew Clark, Doughty, Ben Hart, Mark Rasciuto, Tawney and Welsh all to come back into their lineup. So Mark Rasciuto wanted to play tonight, but Neil Craig said no, 1 full week of training before you get to play a game, so he definitely will play next week.
Well, one of the reasons why they would be genuine flag favourites, and now one of the NAB Cup flag favourites. They're down to the last 4. It's Adelaide tonight at Aurora Stadium by 13 points.
An all-star cast in John Grisham's first-class thriller.
This is not about me anymore. This is about my kid.
The Gingerbread Man, next on 9.
Radio Rentals will help you beat the heat and beat any price on air conditioning. Oh, get your skates on and come and see all the big brands at Radio Rentals. Like LG, Electrolux, Kelvinator, Panasonic, Hitachi, Fujitsu and Mitsubishi. With a range of systems to suit any home. We're even big inducted. And with a cool 12, 24, 36, 48 or 60 months interest free at SA's biggest electrical retailer, you'd be mad to shop anywhere else.
The Primus 10th birthday continues with our most affordable startup broadband offer ever. At only $9.90 per month, with $10 installation and $10 for a modem, when you combine your home phone with Primus, it's the best startup broadband deal. And we've got broadband plans to suit everyone. So join Primus and save. If you're new to broadband or need a great deal, call Primus on 1300 Primus. That's 1300 77 4687.
Summertime. Beaches and burgers. Burgers with pineapple. Hungry Jack's Malibu Whopper. Big beef patty, cheese, bacon, ketchup and barbecue sauce, onion, pineapple, tomato, lettuce and mayo. Try the great taste of summer with regular Coke and fries. Hungry Jack's Malibu Whopper. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's.
A hard-earned thirst needs a big cold beer, and no one deserves it more than David Boone. Yes, he didn't get that rock-hard guts from playing hacky sack. He got it from smashing boundaries. No high fives or jumping round when Booney made a ton. Just a tweak of the box, and it's back to business. We want Booney for Prime Minister, or stuffed and put on display next to Farlap, with the word Booney engraved on the glass, and a big cold beer in his glove. And the best cold beer is Vic.
Bullshit. succeed in sport, you face ever-increasing challenges, the greatest of which is to test your skills against the absolute best. Hi, I'm Steve Ovett, and for 4,500 athletes from 71 countries from around the world, their moment of truth approaches.
The 18th Commonwealth Games in Melbourne 2006, presented by our sponsors Metropolitan Plumbing and Radio Rentals on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Well, I think she's beautiful, but the family over there says your sister's ugly.
What did I say about my sister?
What?
I didn't say anything. Get out of it. Get out of it. Come on.
First Family Feud. Weeknights, 5:30, Channel 9.
Just a pre-season rendition of the theme song there, Bryza, but they are through. The second team through to the semi-final of the NAB Cup. The Adelaide Crows, 13 points was the eventual margin over a pretty brave time. It was tight all night. The Adelaide Crows jumped them in the first 3 or 4 minutes, and in the end, that was probably the difference.
And then in the last quarter of the game, they jumped them, Gary. They kicked 3 goals in 8 minutes in that last quarter, led by Jericho up there, and Henschel and Burton all got a piece of it. They were very solid indeed. 13-point victory is a good victory.
It is indeed. Let's go down to the victorious Adelaide Runes with their coach, Neil Craig and Chris Jones.
Thanks, Gaz. It was a pretty hard-fought win, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a tough game of footy. Not so much tough as in physical contact, but just a lot of counter-attack, defending counter-attacks and back and forth. So it was a pretty draining game for both sides.
Some of the young guys were very impressive. Chris Knights was one who really impressed.
Yeah, no, that style of game is really important, that our younger guys get exposed to that very early in their careers. So it was a great experience for them to play against that sort of style tonight. So they were good.
And you still do have a lot of your top-line players to come back, don't you?
Oh yeah, but we'll just stay on track in terms of how we've approached the NAB Cup, and that's really to get ready for round one, but to keep playing some young kids, but not to take any risk with those senior guys.
Okay, well, you're through to the semi-finals. Well done.
Yeah, good. Thanks, Chris.
Well done indeed, Neil Craig. He's done a very good job with the Adelaide side. They'll play Melbourne next Friday night. The venue to be advised. We're just waiting to hear, Brian, but if you're a betting man...
Well, I think it'll be in Adelaide, Gary, wouldn't it?
I think it might be over at Amy Stadium. It'll be a fair contest. The Demons were okay last night, and the Adelaide Crows with a couple of players to come back. Always very competitive. It's been an absolute pleasure to be down here at Launceston. That rain has stayed away, Brian.
No, it's coming.
It won't be here. Hope you've enjoyed it. The Adelaide Crows by 13 points. Good night.
This has been another presentation of Nine's Wide World of Sports. NAB Cup. Proudly brought to you by Ware Home Hardware. Hungry Jack's. The burgers are better at Hungry Jack's. Oh yeah. A&R Computers. The team to beat for great value and service. Radio Rentals. SA's biggest electrical retailer. You'd be mad to shop anywhere else. Metropolitan Plumbing. Emergency plumbing 24 hours, 7 days a week. And National Australia Bank. Helping you get what you want. Hollywood's Night of Nights.
And the Oscar goes to...
It's unpredictable and unforgettable.
I love it up here.
Beginning with interviews and highlights from the red carpet. The Academy Awards, Monday, 7:30 on 9.
The home of the Commonwealth Games. This is Channel 9.